guys, hope you're doing good. Let me tell you about my sponsor, Noble Gold. You know, life has never looked so uncertain as it does right now. Across the U.S., people are being paralyzed into indecision. So many people humming and hawing about everything, feeling flustered with all of these shutdowns, avoiding that issue, the money one. But bleak as it might look, there may be a silver or even gold lining. If you've worked for years before CV, you could have a 401k sitting around gathering dust, or even an old IRA that we could help with. Working for your old company when it could be working for you. We're not talking peanuts either. Some plans have thousands of dollars in them. All your 401k plans. Look into this, please. To find out more about unlocking your own hidden treasure, call the team at Noble Gold at 877-646-5347. And if that's not an incentive enough, Noble Gold is giving away the U.S. Mint's own solid silver 5-ounce $1 Apollo 11 moon landing coin when you sign up today for a gold or silver IRA. I have one. It's so worth it right now to jump on the phone and deal with this by calling 877-646-5347 now. Please, guys, jump on this opportunity. They will help you out. It's a great company and they support True Reporting, and you get an awesome coin in the meantime, my friends. So again, thank you for choosing Noble Gold, and I hope you enjoy the podcast. What's up, what's up, what's up? This is has to be one of the biggest days in American history. If you can hear my voice, if you know what's going on, Catherine Dela Cruz, thank you for subscribing. I greatly appreciate it. This is the match of the century. This is Fall Brawl, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can hear my voice, hit 5x5. I know multiple streams are taking place right now, but this is the hypest. This is the one that you want to be at, friends, because it is summer. It is the summer of all summers, the fall of all falls. This is Fall Brawl, ladies and gentlemen. I can promise you it is going to get pumped up. We're going to stay hyped. You will not see a single slow second within any minute of this stream. This is what we do, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gracious, you see the thumbnail. This is a match between the reigning champion Donald J. Trump against the lackey, the schmo, the schmuck, Joe Sleepy Biden. Ladies and gentlemen, boys or girls, children of all ages, this is what it's all about. The first debate that we all see here tonight. Guys, I hope you're as stoked as I am. I got the referee shirt on. You see the thumbnail. You see the pythons. This is what it is about, and I hope you're stoked about it. I understand that there are multiple streams, but I can tell you this much, that we will be stoked the entire time we are here today. Make sure, if you are new, to smash. Make sure you put it in a headlock. Put that headlock on that like button. Squeeze until they make themselves hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you are a patriot and that you stand true with the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the greatest time to be alive. This is the Great Awakening. This is where we go one, we go all, and multiple people are streaming tonight. So get stoked on it that you are here on the most hype corner of the internet, baby. I am so stoked to be here. Yes, yes, yes. Blind C75 good to see you. Justin Williams, good to see you, my friend. Christina Love, Shannon on. Everyone, welcome aboard with your special guest referee, Thomas from True Reporting. I'm going to listen. Guys, I'm going to be looking for ear devices in Joe Biden's ear, which he says he's not going to do. Hey, we're going to be checking, we're going to be looking for, multi-stimuli drug altercations, is that a word? Within the bloodstream of Joe Biden. He says no dice. We're not doing it. But guess what? We already knew this was going to happen because why? Because we're watching a movie. That's why. This is Fall Brawl, the first round of the presidential debates between the heavyweight champion Donald J. Trump and the lackey, the schmo, Sleepy Joe Biden. Guys, let's get ready to rumble. Says Reiki. You're not going to see this anywhere else. This is going to be epic. Unreal Society, Buck Swain, Shannon on, Sassy Raven, Marianne Knox, Dave MC. This is where you want to be. You think I can't do wrestling promos? My God almighty, Denise. Remember this with Denise Bolin is in the chat. Texas Rumble, Texas Patriot 77 is in the chat. Fred Cares is in the chat. This is the most hype. You can have your sports. You can have your football. You can kneel at your goal post. You can play soccer. That's a girl sport anyways. You can watch your baseball where you have people that are plastered up in the it's the playoffs in baseball and no one even cares. Hockey, is that even a sport? Actually, it's probably the best sport. But this politics, my friends, is the best sport all day, baby. And it's good to have each and every one of you aboard. If you're new here, you're probably saying, this guy's psychotic. But this is what it's all about, baby. We are live. Yeah, you're not going to get it anywhere else, my friends. You're not going to get it anywhere else. Listen, guys, if you're new here, I'm telling you, tonight is the night that we see a pedophile, a legitimate, let's be honest. He's in the Oval Office smelling hair. He's smelling hair. He's smelling panties. He's a creepola, right? He's a creepola. And he's going to be, he's going to be debating the greatest champion of all time. The guy that is for sovereignty. He's for the republic. He's for bringing the power back to the people. And you think this guy stands a chance? No way in hell, guys. No way in hell. This is just the first. This is just the first battle royale against the standing champion Donald J. Trump and against schmucky Sleepy Joe Biden. Guys, will he even be the champion in the end? I think they're gonna bring somebody in, right? They're gonna supplementary advance someone up under him and say, oh, Sleepy Joe's got the COVID. He's got the coughs. I can't breathe. I think I got the COVID. Oh, he's doing dice. He's doing referee stuff. He's doing commentary. You're not gonna get it anywhere else. This I can tell you. Smash the like button. Start it up. I want 1,000 likes within the first 30 minutes of this stream. Your boy's hyped. I've been waiting for this day for a long. I didn't even think this was gonna take place. And I think that goes for each and every one of you that are in the chat right now. You didn't think this was gonna take place. Don't be arrogant. You knew this wasn't gonna happen, and now it's happening. We're gonna see some dummy go on stage with an earpiece in his ear. I hope the president calls him out. He's gonna go up there with drugs that enhances his environment, enhances his being, and we're supposed to be okay with this? No. I hope Donnie Boy calls him out. He's gonna call him out. It's gonna be this right here. This is what it's all about. You like that Rook Castle. I told you. Look at the, she says she likes the referee. Listen, I wanted to make this as close to a WWF, fall brawl. If you don't know what fall brawl is, do your research. This is fall brawl. This is a pay-per-view that you don't have to pay for, but if you want to support the channel, look at this segue. Is your boy a professional? Could be. Look at this segue, guys. If you want to support the channel, if you think this is a pay-per-view, you got the PayPal, you got the Patreon, you got the Streamlabs that you can hit up. It'll flash right here. Right there, it's gonna flash across the screen that you're donating to an amazing channel that stays hype for you in the greatest time in American history. Always know that my channel is your channel, everyone, and I hope you enjoyed tonight's festivities. I hope you enjoyed Sleepy Joe Biden making a fool of himself, and I hope you see that it's 4 to 8 to 12 more years of Donald J. Trump. I told you this from the beginning, that this is going to be a dynasty, a Trump dynasty. We're gonna see this people say, oh, a king, a queen, a dynasty, that's old school talk. We're talking the Dark Ages. No. You're not talking the Dark Ages because the terminology has changed into the First Lady and the President, it doesn't mean that it's the king and queen, because they are the king and queen of America, and we are headed into the golden age. Bet your bottom dollar on that, my friends. Make sure, that you hit the like button. We're almost to 1,000 likes already. We're not even 20 minutes into the stream. You guys are killing it, son. My gracious. I'm not gonna cough up a fur ball, although Loki, who is actually, if I get knocked out by one of the contenders, I got Loki over here. I put a referee costume on him. He's over here on the couch. He's taking a nap. He needs to take a sleep, okay? He's had a busy day. He's been hanging out, playing with catnip. He's got his fur balls. He's been rolling around with his pets that I like to call them. And listen, guys, this is going to be one for the ages. This is going to be one for the masses. This is going to be one for the golden age. Don't get it twisted, guys. I'm in an office. I'm yelling. The people above me, the people below me can go to hell and back. I don't care, because I know where I live, and they're not Trump supporters. Down below is not Trump supporters. This is where we are, baby. We are in the mine shaft of a superlatority. Is that a word? I don't know. I'm making stuff up as I go. But listen, guys. And still your president, Brian Hudgens. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Catnip, just say no. Just say, for the ages, T Grizzle. What's up, T Grizzle? Good to see you. Let's do some shout outs, guys. We need some shout outs. If you're stoked to be here, say what's up. If you're if you've never been here before, let us know right now. I'm telling you guys, I'm gonna tone down once all this gets going. We got about 29 minutes. 29 minutes. All right? This will not be a call-in show. We don't have time for that. Your boy's gonna yap it up. I'm gonna yap it up because this is, I don't think, in my honest, I'm 35 years old. I've never seen more people more hyped about tonight. You can have your Super Bowls. You can have your World Series. You can have your Stanley Cup. You can have your Wimbledon. You can have your whatever soccer is. I don't even know what soccer is. I don't even watch it. What is it? The World Cup? This is the equivalency of a WrestleMania times 10. Times 10. Okay? No one thought this was going to happen. He's talking about, this isn't a special stipulation match. You get an earpiece. Biden gets an earpiece. Biden doesn't get the drug test. Trump's going out there. He's going out there flexing, son. He's going out there with the spiffy tie, the nice suit, the $3,000 suit, the $2,000 shoes. He's going out there with an attitude of a champion, of an alpha male, and you got this guy that's coming in here trying to take over a republic with socialism, with Marxism, huh? This doesn't happen. It's not gonna happen. You have all of this stuff taking place around us. Voter fraud. You saw it with Ilhan Omar, whatever her name. I don't even care. She's irrelevant. She's dunzo, my friends. Dunzo. She's gone. She's gone. I'm being honest with you. She's dunzo. She got caught by Project Veritas. $200. Hey, listen. Hey, sign this voter ballot. Here's 200 clams. Oh, really? Oh, really? This is all on video. You should be put in a federal prison. You should be thrown in jail, buried under the jail. You said that people did something on 9/11. You're a terrorist. It is what it is. That's right, Rebecca B. The dice. The dice, man. I'm telling you, this is going to be too much for some people. They're going to say, what is this? What is he talking about? You don't get what tonight means then. You don't get it. You think tonight is some ordinary day? This is an awakening for so many people. They're gonna say, I don't like Trump. Oh, Biden? I mean, I really don't know. I think he sniffs hair. They're gonna see him tonight. He's gonna be a bumbling idiot. He's a dunce. And you think he's gonna come in here acting like he's gonna defeat Trump? He's quick. He's 73 years old. I don't know. I mean, Biden says he's 180 years old. That could be a demon. I don't know. He literally said in a CNN, ABC, NBC, MSDNC interview, one of those Mockingbird media interviews, he said he was 180 years old. Give me a break. You're senile. You're dying. Jill Biden. Hell, Loki has a better IQ, a higher IQ than you do. Your brain is dying. You need some more Kuru. For those of you in the audience, he needs some more Kuru. Oh! You get it. Trinidad, Morgan Jagasar from Trinidad. I don't even know where Trinidad is. My God in heaven, Morgan, thank you so much for stopping by to see. Oh, Gerald, you think I'm going to stroke? You don't even know me, man. You don't even know me. We're all 60 likes. We're 60 likes away from 1,000. Can you hit the button? Can you hit the like button? Show some appreciation for the hypeness that is going to take place in 30 minutes. I'll tone down, but I'm telling you, I'm not going to play this sissy music. I can tell you that. I can tell you that. Guys, we are witnessing history. You are here for a reason. I am here for a reason. Loki, right over here, right here, is here for a reason. This is the Great Awakening. We are entering the Golden Age. You know it. I know it. Intuitional standards within oh my God, within the construct of all of us, right? We all know it intuitionally. Let's jam out. Likes. taking place tonight. What's taking place tonight? History is taking place tonight. That's what's taking place. Telling you. The sky is super clear. Listen, I'm telling you guys. I can promise you. I can promise you that tonight is that we're here together. There's no other explanation for it. Is that 17 created this atmosphere for us to enjoy the show. Shina White, thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Guys, if you're enjoying tonight's show, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you can hit the Streamlabs. I think I did put it on. Oh my God. Hold on. Let's figure this out. There we go. All right, we're on I did not have the slow-mo on, and you guys are killing the mods. That's okay. That's okay. It's all gravy, baby. We can all groove together. You can groove together, right? You're welcome, Sunny Skies. I'm sorry, guy. I did not know it. I did not know that. Ruth, Frederick, thank you for enjoying the music. We always jam out. We're always jamming out. Gene. Red Pill 78 is not bad too, but the fun is here. You gotta stay hype. Who's gonna go out and actually characterize all this? Who's gonna characterize all of this and say that this is a pay-per-view? I should have had a backdrop. I really should have done that. I could do that. I don't know if I should do that. It may look sloppy. It would have been funny. I can't do the green screen. I can't do the green screen right now. I mean, I could change the background of the computer. I mean, we might as well, right? You want to change the background? I got a good one. Come on, man. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate it. Repping the USA in the best way, dude. Thank you, T Grizzle. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Laugh out loud pay-per-view. It's up to you guys. If you think that this is worthy of donating to this channel, I make no money from this. Zero. I make zero from this. So if you want to support it, you most certainly can through PayPal, through Patreon. You can hit up the Streamlabs. The link is in the chat. The mods will drop it and it'll flash across the screen so everyone can see it. I don't know what's going to happen. This is going to be nuts. I can tell you that. Come on, man. Shina White just found your page today. Super class. Shina White, I hope you hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that notification bell. Thank you so much, Shina. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed today, I drop a video all the time, so make sure you're there for that. If you want to hit up that super chat, if you want to hit up that PayPal, if you want to hit that Patreon, hit that stuff up. I would greatly appreciate it. I would really appreciate it. There's already over 200,000 people streaming this on Fox already. I would like to know. All right. Somebody give me the numbers. We're going to do this right now. because we gotta spare some time, right? What is the highest viewed? It's got to be like 9/11 or something. Highest viewed television program of all time. 3.6 million? The 2012 Olympic sports? Who watches the Olympics? You think I'm gonna watch somebody throw a thing in the air? You think I'm gonna watch somebody do shuffleboard? You think I'm gonna watch ladies basketball? This is gonna blow this out of the water. There is no way. There is no way. No way. Cage match, Caleb, and I'm the special guest referee. You see the pythons. You see your boy. He's working out. You see the forearms. My gracious. I'm gonna get jacked. I'm gonna get jacked. We saw somebody, hey Thomas, watching from Queensland, Australia. Go Trump, kick Joe's ass. Roberto Giacapo. Roberto, good to see you, my friend, from across the pond. Good to see you, my friend. The tribunals, now that. Woo! Hey, we got oh my goodness, look at this coming in at us from the Batman. Batman! Good to see you, my friend, with the 17 bones. Thank you so much. Trump said no to potty breaks, so expect the lights to go out while they hot swap Joe's clones. Woo! I like it. I like it. I'll do the gun show. That's the gun show. Your boy's getting strong. He's getting strong. Don't hate. Don't hate. I agree. No potty breaks. Don't check the earpiece. We're not doing drug checks. Are you out of your mind? This is what the left wants. They don't want this. They don't want this. They want somebody he's not going to be the nominee. I can promise you that. Something's going to happen after today. I can promise you that. It's changing. But with your special guest referee, I'm going to be checking like this. I'll be doing this. I'll be doing this all the way home. What? Oh, you got a pair of brass knuckles? Huh? You got a syringe? You're going to put in your arm right here? You're gonna do that? Put some performing enhancing drugs in your arm? That old Sleepy Joe? No. Not this time. I'll eliminate you. Because this is the greatest sports entertainment visualization of anything you will ever see in American history. I guarantee you this is the biggest viewed show of all time. And the president knows it. The president lives for this. He lives for this. Swamp Fox 2020, Thomas is going to use the steel chair as a special guest referee. I will. You think I'm like, look at the hat. Obviously, I'm biased. Berlin Chainley says no breaks. Who will change Joe's diaper? It's not going to be me. I don't know, guys. I just hope that you're enjoying this. Smoke a joint, have a beer. This is what we're all here for. I don't know any other YouTuber. I don't know. Joe, thank you so much. Happy to be with you tonight during one of the greatest times in history. Joe, thank you for the 10 bones, sweetie pie. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Teresa says, I love you so much, Thomas. You're welcome. I'm glad I could be with you here tonight. I really appreciate it. Listen. You're not going to see another YouTuber out there with a referee shirt with... It's funny, right? We live in a clown world. Why not add on to the jokery, to the tomfoolery, right? This is what it's about. I think we're watching a movie. I think we're watching a charade that's being performed outside from behind the curtain. It's already been played out behind the screen. Now we're seeing it being played out in front of the American public. I don't know what we're gonna watch. I have no idea. It's gonna be insanity. I can promise you that. But you're not gonna see another YouTuber out there put on a referee shirt with a Make America Great Again hat, actually promoting this and being this hype. I'm excited. This is what it's all about, baby. This is what it's all about. It's not to be like Rebecca V, the malarkey. The malarkey. Alright, the malarkey, right? Oh, I'm telling you guys, you're not gonna get it anywhere else. Stop it with the shenanigans, right? Listen, I'm gonna give a fair count. When it's a point, we should do points. I wish I had the technology on this computer. I wish I had a producer here with me to be like 1 point Trump, 1 point Sleepy Joe. I think that would be absolutely hilarious. It would be hilarious if we could do that. But unfortunately, we're not going to be able to. I'm stoked. Don't worry about shills in the stream. The mods will take care of that. You guys sit cozy like we're already at 1.4 thousand likes. It's 8:39 and this is one of the best songs. This is what we call, if you've never been here before, this is the Kenny G song and I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's just flex for a moment. Rachel Chernmeyer, thank you. I was over at Red Pill 78's channel, but this by far is my favorite channel. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Take a drink every time Joe says, "Aw, come on, man." Let me go get a couple of brewskis, non-alcoholic. I'll be right back. You sit tight. If you go anywhere, I'm going to find you. I'm going to hunt you down. I'll be right back. Hang tight, sweetie pies. Already. Just to keep it real. Grab yourself a brewski. You want me to pop popcorn? I will too. Whatever you guys want me to do, I'll do right now. DS, just subscribe. Thank you so much, DS, for subscribing. I really appreciate it. And guys, if you didn't know, I'm on Twitter at TRUreporting. Follow me right now. You got time. You got a little bit of time. You got 20 minutes before this shit show starts. It's going to be an insanity, right? You got 20 minutes to subscribe or to follow me on Twitter at TRUreporting. The links will be dropped. You can follow me on Parler at TRUreporting1985. We're almost to 4.5 thousand followers on Parler. And I think we're almost to 250 people on Patreon. You guys are killing it on Patreon, and God bless you for that. Most support. I love it. I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. The best way to support is Patreon. God bless you all. Cheers. And Loki. Right, baby? Right, baby? I love this. I love it. Andrea, we could do a drinking. You want to do a drinking game? We could do it. Jeremy, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. You guys can do the same. It'll flash across the screen right here, and everyone can see it. Jeremy, thank you so much. 17 Bones. Bart Taylor tweeted CNN former nominee Biden this AM. I saw that as well. They did retract that. But is that foreshadowing? Well said, my friend Jeremy. Thank you so much. We could play a drinking game. What's wrong with tailgating? What's wrong with tailgating? Huh? Let's see what the next song. Not bad. Not bad. Bush and A. I'm just stoked. Tiffany Williams, thank you so much for following on Facebook. Guys, there is also a Facebook group, if you don't know about that. I think we're almost to 2,500, maybe 3,000 people on Facebook. Hit that up as well. I would really appreciate it. Hanging out with my digital soldiers. I wonder if General Flynn is watching. China. Buck Swain, we got to talk about, you didn't call me. We need to talk about these business cards. Call me. Doris Downs, we could do a drinking game, sure. Eugene Johnson, thank you, bro, for doing all this. Hey, Bubba, you're welcome, man. Thank you, Eugene. I do need a whistle. I asked. I went to Dick's Sporting Goods and asked for a whistle, and they did not have one. I was like, dang it. But you don't have that. I'm not an NFL referee. I'm a WWF referee. Hence the thumbnail, the picture of the video. That's where we're at. And by the way, guys, I don't know if I shared this on. I don't know if I shared this on Parler or Facebook. So if you guys would please do a share on this, it would mean the world to me. I would really appreciate it. And even bigger than that, if you want to become a Patreon, that would mean even more. I mean, we're not even to the first hour, 1.5 thousand likes, guys. I know you can get to 2,000. I would really appreciate it. Shane O'Mac from Navy Vet. What's up, Shane O'Mac? Good to see you. Good to see you. Shannon on dropping by. I know she's going to stick around. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, I have one more question because we're 14 minutes away from this starting. Danella Young, thank you so much for subscribing. I greatly appreciate it. I don't know if they're watching, but I hope they are. Do you want me to do full screen, which will cover up the entire chat? We won't be able to see the chat. You'll be able to see me in the bottom corner. It'll be over here. I'll be small. Do you want me to do full screen or like I usually do where it's kind of above my head and behind me a little bit? Let me know. Full screen covers up the entire chat. I won't be able to see what you guys are saying except through my phone. What do you want me to do? Full screen, press 1. Half screen, press 2. Full screen, press 1. Half screen, press 2. Thank you, Ashley McLean, for sharing on Facebook. Thank you, KW. Soul Boogie 08, stream this music to. That's hilarious. Stream this music to Biden's earpiece. All right, I guess we're gonna go full screen. It's gonna cover the chat, but I'll be able to watch simultaneously on my phone. Do you guys understand what is about to happen? Like, let's tone down and just honestly understand what in the hell is about to take place. You're about to see a 73-year-old man, the president of the United States, who acts like he's 30. He's the quickest man. He's like this. And he's going to come on and debate someone who's dying of dementia. If this isn't the greatest red pill of all time, I don't know what is. It's part of the awakening. Loki the cat. I'm gonna get him. It is. Buck Swain is gonna be the most savage ass whooping ever, for sure. Loki, L-O-K-I. But we're not gonna slow down, guys. We're not slowing down. I'm so thankful. I woke up extremely early. I went and worked out this morning. I went and bought this. I couldn't even believe it. Like, I was like, this is $39 for a referee shirt. It's hilarious. I bought black pants from Goodwill. And I'm walking around like a referee. Do you know how funny that is? All for the bit. All for the bit of making this look and seem like it's WWF. Like, my wrestling fans, if you're a wrestling fan out there, give me a heart in the chat. If you legitimately are a wrestling fan, I don't care if it's from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, late 2010s, put a heart in the chat. I would really like to know how much you appreciated the thumbnail, the picture of this live stream. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was hilarious. And I thought it was cool as well. So if you want to let me know, put a heart in the chat. I would really like to know. I would love the appreciation. And it's also like, it's just nice to see you guys. Ashley McLean, wow. Pixie Dustin, Bloodhound, Rex Kwando, love it, my friend. Adelma Canella, A. Brian Gilreth, too, a super Navy vet, awesome. A lot of wrestling fans. Julia Ann Law, Matt, I love it, guys. Blue Star 712. Well, you guys are is this real? Are you guys wrestling fans? This is Kisma. This is Kisma. Loki's a cat. Oh my God, guys. This is awesome. I had no idea. I do drop, in our little world, in the cozy corner of our internet. The coziest corner of the internet lies True Reporting. And we have our inside jokes. We have these things. And everyone knows that I'm a huge wrestling fan. And I'm completely blown away by you guys. Like, I didn't know you liked this stuff. I love it. I don't have a black eye. No black eye. No black eye. Rhonda Lemker. Oh, my goodness. It's good to see you, pal. Good to see you, Sweetie Pie. Good to see you. Good to see you. Guys, we're 8 minutes away. 8 minutes away. No, I know. I'm Mike 1776. I'm not a big wrestling fan anymore, but I do love wrestling, and I like to play that character into this. I like to bring that world, which I loved, I grew up with, I love to bring it into the True Reporting world. Bushwhackers, yes! Melissa Marie. That is hot. No, it's okay. They can be in there. Oh, she put bitches. It's fine. I love Ric Flair. Julie Smith. Well, anyways, I'm glad you guys got the reference. People are like, is that boxing? I'm like, no. Like, this is obviously a WWF ring. I'm the referee like this. I'm the special guest referee with the pythons. The boys get strong. And then I got Biden on one side. I got Trump on the other side. It's just like a pay-per-view, promo. It looks great. It looks great. I love it. My grandfather, who is 91 years old, is the biggest wrestling fan. He still believes it's real. His mother, who, again, he is 91 years old. His mother, who they both grew up in Portland, Oregon, before it was a liberal scumbag city, she would take him to wrestling. And that, it skipped a generation. My mother and my father don't like it. But me and my brother, my younger brother, love wrestling. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I can tell you. Norma Jacob, Mount Zion, thank you so much for following. I really appreciate it. We got 6 minutes, guys. I wonder, I don't know if you're able to do this. I don't know. I don't know how many people are watching. I almost don't want to know, so just don't tell me. But if we can get to 2,000 likes before the top of the hour, that is 6 minutes. If you can get us to 2,000 likes, I would be blown away. I am hyped. I am feeling great. I think you guys should be excited as well. And if you want to do this with me, come on, let's get to 2,000 likes before the top of the hour. You got 5 minutes left. Kid it up, sweetie pies. I know you can do it, and that goes to you guys too. You get my sweetie pies as well. I would love to see it. 1,600 people watching. Beautiful. If we could get to 2,000, I would love you. Love you. We're up against some big streams. Big streams. And you know the suppression. You know the suppression on this channel. 5 minutes left, guys. 2,000 likes. Ba-da-da-ba. 1.9, baby. You're almost there. If you guys do this, I'll be blown away. American Trucker. Oh my God, Terry Funk. American Trucker, you won over my heart. I love Terry Funk. That quick. That was literally 25 seconds. 25 seconds. You got us to 2,000 likes. Clap it up. Let's see it in the chat. I think we're all having fun. If you're having fun, give me a 1. I don't mean to rhyme like that. We're about to go live with the thing, with the debate, so I won't be talking. I'm going to be dead silent. And I'm just going to watch it. We'll have a little after show, maybe about 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll say goodbye. I'm letting you know that we're on at 2.1. You guys are killing it. You're killing it. I'm telling you this. Again, guys, if you want to be a Patreon, if you want to super chat, you got the Streamlab link. You can see right here. PayPal, so on and so forth. 111111111. Fine. Special guest referee Thomas from True Reporting in the holding the heavyweight title ship belt, the ruler of the American public, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. And in the opposite corner of the ring, the schmo, the pedo, the schmuck, the sniffing hair, dementia-ridden old man, Joe Biden. would like to see in the chat, we got 2 minutes left before we go live. What would Donald Trump's finishing move be? So put Trump dash finishing move. And I want to know what you would think Biden's finishing move. Put Biden dash and then his finishing move. I would love to see that. I want to see how creative you guys can be. Trump dash his finishing move. Biden dash his finishing move before we go live. Before we go live with this debate. I would love to see your creativism. I would love it. Money shot from Rusty Shackelford. I love that. Biden, the sleeper hold. That was genius. Well said. Who said that? Brand 37. Beautiful. Are we live? The main event is about to take place. Trump finisher, the wall. Nice. Nice. Chris Wallace is such a fucking... Sorry, I don't mean to drop the F-bomb. Just a shill. There she is. There's my sweetie pie. The Mikado. Thank you so much for the 10 bones. I can't believe we get to watch this. No way did they think they would ever put Biden on stage against Trump. I don't even know what's about to happen. I am going to black out. I'm going to black out. I almost want to order real beer right now. I just want to sit back, pop some popcorn, and chug beer and watch this. We're going to still wait until they bring out the opponents. Look at this guy. What if that was your dad? You would be ashamed. You'd be ashamed. Bring him out. Oh my, this is the greatest event ever. Look at this. Look at what I'm wearing and look above me. Is that not hilarious? This is hilarious. There she is. There she is. The ring girl. That's the ring girl, Melania Trump, sweetie pie. And I mean that in no disrespect. No disrespect. Let's minimize this. Minimize my... I gotta be the referee in this. I can promise you that. I'm gonna take away the chat. And you guys will watch along with me. No flags on the stage. But check out what that writing is, by the way, guys. Check out the writing. Tracy McGinnis says this is better than the Super Bowl. Show your love and respect. I appreciate it. Mikado16, thank you again for that super chat through Streamlabs. Again, guys, you can hit the PayPal and Patreon. We're going to jam out for a little bit and just wait for Chris Wallace, the cuck boy, the shill boy. Oh, I'm definitely going to turn down the music. Everything's going to be dead silent as we watch together. It's not live yet, Shan. We're watching live. Just gonna wait. Scott Lewis, this is great. We're gonna get a little quiet. We're gonna wait for the build-up. Wait for the... This should be the intro music. By the way, guys, have you left a like? Have you shared this on your Facebook, on your Instagram, on your Twitter? Please do that now. You have time. I would really appreciate it if you could do that. I would really appreciate it if you could do that. I will turn the music off, and then we will go live. I'll be the referee, Patriot Cutie 77. I will handle this match. I can't even believe I'm about to watch this. Do you understand? It's kind of setting in how absolutely funny this is that I'm wearing a referee costume. Call me instead. Thank you for subscribing. The Union and the Constitution. Bring them out! I'm going to go ahead and mute it, and we're going to take a listen to what's going on.
Journeys by learning together as teams.
He's still muted. You shill.
From the Health Education Campus of Case Western Reserve University and the Cleveland Clinic. I'm Chris Wallace of Fox News. I welcome you to the first of the 2020 presidential debates between President Donald J. Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden. This debate is sponsored by the Commission on Presidential Debates. The commission has designed the format, 6 roughly 15-minute segments with 2-minute answers from each candidate to the first question, then open discussion for the rest of each segment. Both campaigns have agreed to these rules. For the record, I decided the topics and the questions in each topic. I can assure you, none of the questions has been shared with the commission or the 2 candidates. This debate is being conducted under health and safety protocols designed by the Cleveland Clinic, which is serving as the health security advisor to the commission for all 4 debates. As a precaution, both campaigns have agreed the candidates will not shake hands at the beginning of tonight's debate. The audience here in the hall has promised to remain silent. No cheers, no boos or other interruptions, so we, and more importantly you, can focus on what the candidates have to say. No noise except right now, as we welcome the Republican nominee, President Trump, and the Democratic nominee, Vice President Biden.
Let's go! Let's go, baby! Flex, baby! You retard! Let's go! Woo!
Gentlemen, a lot of people have been waiting for this night, so let's get going. Our first subject is the Supreme Court. President Trump, you nominated Amy Coney Barrett over the weekend to succeed the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the court. You say the Constitution is clear about your obligation and the Senate's to consider a nominee to the court. Vice President Biden, you say that this is an effort by the president and Republicans to jam through an appointment and what you call an abuse of power. My first question to both of you tonight, why are you right in the argument you make and your opponent wrong, and where do you think a Justice Barrett would take the court? President Trump, in this first segment, you go first, 2 minutes.
Thank you very much, Chris. I will tell you very simply, we won the election. Elections have consequences. We have the Senate, we have the White House, and we have a phenomenal nominee, respected by all, top academic, good in every way, In fact, some of her biggest endorsers are very liberal people from Notre Dame and other places. So I think she's going to be fantastic. We have plenty of time, even if we did it after the election itself. I have a lot of time after the election, as you know. So I think that she will be outstanding. She's going to be as good as anybody that has served on that court. We really feel that. We have a professor at Notre Dame, highly respected by all, said she's the single greatest student he's ever had. He's been a professor for a long time at a great school. And we won the election, and therefore we have the right to choose her. And very few people knowingly would say otherwise. And by the way, the Democrats, they wouldn't even think about not doing it. If they had, the only difference is they'd try and do it faster. There's no way they would give it up. They had Merrick Garland, but the problem is they didn't have the election, so they were stuck.
I can't even believe this is
happening. And probably that would happen in reverse also. Definitely would happen in reverse. So we won the election, and we have the right to do it, Chris.
President Trump, thank you. Same question to you, Vice President Biden. You have 2 minutes.
Well, first of all, thank you for doing this, and looking forward to this, Mr. President.
Thank you, Joe.
The American people have a right to have a say in who the Supreme Court nominee is, and that say occurs when they vote for United States senators and when they vote for the President of the United States. They're not going to get that chance now because we're in the middle of an election already. The election has already started. Tens of thousands of people have already voted. And so the thing that should happen is we should wait. We should wait and see what the outcome of this election is, because that's the only way the American people get to express their view is by who they elect as president and who they elect as vice president. Now, what's at stake here is the president's made it clear he wants to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. He's been running on that, he ran on that, and he's been governing on that. He's in the Supreme Court right now trying to get rid of the Affordable Care Act, which will strip 20 million people from having insurance, health insurance now, if it goes into court. And the justice, and I have nothing, I'm not opposed to the justice, she seems like a very fine person. But she's written before she went on the bench, which is her right, that she thinks that the Affordable Care Act is not constitutional. The other thing that's on the court, and if it's struck down, what happens? Women's rights are fundamentally changed. Once again, a woman could be pay more money because she has a pre-existing condition of pregnancy. They were able to charge a woman more for the same exact procedure a man gets. And that ended when we, in fact, passed the Affordable Care Act. And there's 100 million people who have pre-existing conditions, and they'll be taken away as well. Those pre-existing conditions, the insurance companies are going to love this. And so it's just not appropriate to do this before this election. If he wins the election and the Senate is Democrat or Republican, then he goes forward. If not, we should wait until February.
All right.
There aren't 100 million people with pre-existing conditions. As far as the say is concerned, the people already had their say.
Oh, my God.
Okay. Justice Ginsburg said very powerfully, very strongly, at some point, 10 years ago or so, she said a president and the Senate is elected for a period of time, but a president's elected for 4 years. We're not elected for 3 years. I'm not elected for 3 years. So we have the Senate, we have a president.
He's elected to the next
during
election.
that period of time, we have an opening. I'm not elected for 3 years. I'm elected for 4 years. And the 100 million people, Joe, the 100 million people is totally wrong. I don't know where you got that number. The bigger problem that you have is that you're going to extinguish 180 million people with their private health care that they're very happy with.
That's simply not true.
Well, you're certainly going to socialist. You're going to socialist medicine.
We're now
Get mad with your fake laugh.
Open discussion.
Open discussion. Yes, I agree. Go ahead, Vice President.
Number one, he knows that what I proposed. What I proposed is that we expand Obamacare and we increase it. We do not wipe any. And one of the big debates we had with 23 of my colleagues trying to win the nomination that I won were saying that Biden wanted to allow people to have private insurance still. They can. They do. They will under my proposal.
It's not what you've said,
But
and it's not what your party has said.
That is simply
your party
a lie.
doesn't say it. Your party wants to go socialist medicine.
My party is
and
me.
socialist
Right
health.
Get him.
I am
Mess
the
him up.
Dominate you, Joe. You know that.
I am the Democratic Party right now. The platform of the
Not according
Democratic
to
Party
Harris.
is what I, in fact, approved of. What I approved of. Now, here's the deal. The deal is that it's going to wipe out pre-existing conditions. And by the way, the 200,000 people that have died on his watch.
No, you said 200 million.
How many of those have survived? Well, there's 7 million people that contracted COVID. What does it mean for them going forward if you strike down the Affordable Care Act.
Joe, you've had
Pre-existing
308,000 military people dying because you couldn't provide them proper health care in the military. So don't tell me
I'm
about
happy
this.
to talk about
And if you were here,
Look,
it
here's
wouldn't
the
be
deal.
200, it would be 2 million people because you were very late on the draw. You
Late
didn't
on
want
the
me to
draw.
ban China, which was heavily infected. You didn't want me to
He's
ban
listening.
All right, gentlemen,
which
no,
was heavily
Mr. President,
You would have
Mr.
been much
President,
later, Joe.
Mr. President,
much later.
Mr. President,
You're talking about 2 million people.
You're not gonna be able
President,
to
as
shut
a
him up.
moderator, we are going to talk about COVID in the next segment, but go ahead.
Let me finish. The point is that the president also is opposed to Roe v. Wade. That's on the ballot as well in the court. And so that's also at stake right now. And so the election is already
You don't know it's
begun.
on the ballot. Why is it on the ballot?
Because
Why is it
you
on the
said
ballot? It's not
you're-
on the ballot.
It's on the ballot in the
I
court.
don't think so.
In the court. Well,
There's nothing happening there.
Donald, would you
And
just
you don't
be quiet
know
for a
her
minute?
view.
That's Mr. President, pal.
I don't know.
Not Donald.
All right, let's talk. We got a lot to unpack here, gentlemen. We got a lot of time. So, on health care, and then we'll come back to Roe v. Wade.
All right.
Mr. President, the Supreme Court will hear a case a week after the election in which the Trump administration, along with 18 state attorneys general, are seeking to
Can somebody take a
Obamacare, to end Obamacare.
shot of
You
this
have spent
picture
the
when
last-
it's me,
Because they wanna
the
get
president,
good
and Joe? I'd
May I
really
ask
appreciate
my
it.
question, sir.
Good health care.
Over the last 4 years, you have promised to repeal and replace Obamacare, but you have never in these 4 years come up with a plan, a comprehensive plan
Yes,
to
I have.
replace Obamacare.
Of course I have.
Well, I'll
I
give
got
you
rid
an
of
opp-
the
and when I
individual
finish,
mandate.
I'm going to give you an
Excuse me.
opportunity.
I got
when
rid of the individual mandate, which was a
That is
big
not a
chunk of
comprehensive
That
plan.
is absolutely a big thing. That was the
I-
worst
I
part of
didn't ask
Obamacare.
it, sir.
Chris,
You're
that was the
debating him,
worst
not
part of
me.
Obamacare.
Let me ask my
Well,
question.
I'll ask Joe.
The
individual
no,
mandate was the most unpopular
Mr. Vice Pre-
aspect of
Mr.
Obamacare. I
President,
got rid of it.
I'd like
and
you
we
to,
will protect
Mr.
people
President,
with
I'm the
pre-existing
moderator of this
conditions.
debate, and I would like you to let me ask my question, and then you can answer your
ahead.
question. You, in the course of these 4 years, have never come up with a comprehensive plan to replace Obamacare, and just this last Thursday, you signed a largely symbolic executive order to protect people with pre-existing conditions 5 days before this debate. So my question, sir, is what is the Trump health care plan?
Fine. Well, first of all, I guess I'm debating you, not him, but that's okay. I'm not. Let me just tell you something. That there's nothing symbolic. I'm cutting drug prices. I'm going with favored nations, which no president has the courage to do because you're going against big pharma. Drug prices will be coming down 80 or 90%. You could have done it during your 47-year period, and you didn't do it. Nobody's done it. So we're cutting health care.
What about
All of the
pre-existing
things that
conditions?
we've done,
He has not cut
insulin.
health
I give
care.
you an example. Insulin. It was destroying families, destroying people. The cost. I'm getting it for so cheap. It's like water. You want to know the truth? So cheap. Take a look at all of the drugs what we're doing. Prescription drug prices. We're going to allow our governors now to go to other countries to buy drugs because
When in
they
fact-
pay just a tiny fraction.
As I say,
of
this
what
is
we do.
open discussion.
No,
Let
but
me
this
ask
is
you about,
big.
you'll
This
be
is
happy,
big stuff.
sir. You'll be happy. I'm about to pick up on one of your points to ask the vice president, which is he points out that you would like to add a public option to Obamacare, and
Yes.
the argument that he makes and other Republicans make is that that is going to end private insurance.
It is
and
not.
well, if I
sorry.
can ask you the question, it will
Not
end.
what your party says, by the way.
It will end private insurance and create a government takeover of health care.
It does not. It's only for those people who are so poor they qualify for Medicaid. They can get that free in most states, except governors who want to deny people who are poor Medicaid. Anyone who qualifies for Medicare would, Medicaid would automatically be enrolled in the public option. The vast majority of the American people would still not be in that option, number one.
Joe, you
Number
agreed
two.
with Bernie Sanders, who's
I
far
did-
left, on the manifesto,
When
we
you-
call it.
when
And that
manifest-
gives you socialized medicine.
Look, hey,
Are you saying
I'm not
you
going to
didn't
listen
agree?
to him. The fact of the matter is, I beat Bernie Sanders.
Not by much.
I beat him a whole hell of a lot. I'm
Not by
here
much.
standing facing you, old buddy.
Pocahontas would have left.
Oh!
You would have lost every primary.
All he knows how to
on
do
Super
is hurt.
Tuesday. You got
Look,
very lucky.
here's the deal. I got very lucky. I'm going to get very lucky tonight as well. And tonight I'm going to
With
make
what?
sure because
With what?
here's the deal. Here's the deal. The fact is that everything he's saying so far is simply a lie. I'm not here to call
What?
him lies. Everybody knows he's a liar.
But you
I just
agreed.
want to.
What?
I want to make sure.
I'm getting fucking mad.
I want to make
Mr.
sure.
President, can you let him finish, sir?
No, he doesn't know how to do that. He has,
You'd be surprised.
you pick
You'd be surprised.
the
Go ahead,
wrong
Joe.
guy,
Go,
the
go,
wrong
Joe,
night at
go.
the wrong time.
Listen, you agreed with
Here's the
Bernie
deal.
Sanders to the
The
manifesto.
whole idea.
let him.
Disavowing it.
There is no manifesto, number
Please
one.
let him speak, Mr.
Number
President.
two.
You just lost the left.
Number two.
You lost the left. You agreed with Bernie Sanders on a plan.
Folks,
absolutely
folks,
agreed
do you
to,
have any
and under that
idea
plan,
what
you have
this clown's
socialized,
doing?
They call it
Mr.
medical-
Clown? It's the president.
Mr.
I'll
President.
tell you what, he is not for any help for people needing health care. Because
Bernie?
because he, in fact, already has cost 10 million people their health care that they had from their employers because of his recession. Number one. Number two,
yeah.
there are
Oh my God.
10 million people getting health care through Obamacare now that he wants to take it away. He won't ever look you in the eye and say that's what he wants to do. Take it away.
No, I want to give them
Number
better
three.
health care at a much lower price
But-
because
and by the way,
Obamacare
he doesn't
is
know
no
how.
good.
He doesn't know how
I've
to do
already
that.
fixed it.
He has never
I've
offered
already
a plan.
fixed it to an extent.
He has never
Obamacare,
done a
as you
single
might
thing.
know, but probably don't.
Gentlemen, you realize if you're both speaking at the
it's no
same
good,
time,
and it's too expensive.
let the president. Go ahead, sir.
Obamacare is no good. We made it better, and I had a choice to make very early on. We took away the individual mandate. We guarantee pre-existing conditions, but took away the individual mandate. Listen, this is the way it is, and that destroyed. That they shouldn't even call it Obamacare.
Stupid,
Then I had a choice
smug
to make.
laugh.
Do I let my people run it really well or badly? If I run it badly, they'll probably blame him, but they'll blame me. But more importantly, I want to help people. Okay? I said you got to run it so well.
That's what he's
and I
known
just
for.
had a meeting with them. They said the problem is no matter how well you run Obamacare, it's a disaster. It's too expensive.
I got you.
Premiums
I
are
got
too
it.
high, and
That's
it
what his
doesn't work.
people- that's
so
what his people
we
said.
do want to
No,
get
no,
rid of it.
it's
Chris,
an
we
open
want to get rid of it.
I
and
understand
give
it, sir, but
something
I have
that's
to. I
cheaper
have to
and
give you
better.
roughly equal time.
Good.
Please let the vice president talk.
Good.
He has no plan for health care. Of
course we do.
Please.
He sends out wishful thinking. He has executive
listening.
orders with no power. He hasn't lowered drug costs for anybody. He's been promising a health care plan since he got elected. He has none, like almost everything else he talks about. He does not have a plan. He doesn't have a plan. And the fact is, this man doesn't know what he's talking about.
All right.
He's
I
against
have one final question for you,
Sure.
Mr. Vice President. If Senate Republicans, we were talking originally about the Supreme Court here, if Senate Republicans go ahead and confirm Justice Barrett, there has been talk about ending the filibuster or even packing the court, adding to the 9 justices there. You call this a distraction by the president, but in fact, it wasn't brought up by the president. It was brought up by some of your Democratic colleagues in the Congress.
Well done,
My question
Chris.
to you is,
Thank you,
have refused
Chris.
In the past to talk about it. Are you willing to tell the American people tonight whether or not you will support either ending the filibuster or packing the court?
Whatever position I take on that, that'll become the issue. The issue is the American people should speak. You should go out and vote.
How do you know the camera's on his face?
Vote and let your senators know how
you gonna
strongly
pack
you
the
feel.
court?
Vote now. Make sure you, in fact, let people know
He doesn't wanna
you're a
answer the
senator.
question.
I'm not going to answer the question
Why
because
wouldn't you answer that
because
question?
the question
you want to put a lot
is
of
the
new
question
Supreme Court
is
justices,
the
radical
question-
left.
Will you
Who is
shut up,
on,
man?
Listen, who is on your list?
What? What?
Gentlemen, I think
This
we've
is
ended
so
this.
unprecedented.
That's the president,
We
bro.
have ended this segment. We're going to move on to the second segment.
That was really a productive segment, wasn't it? Keep yapping, man.
The people understand, Joe.
They sure do.
47 years you've done nothing. They understand.
All right. The second subject is COVID.
Dude, I'm
a serious subject, so let's try
Almost-
to be serious about it. We have had more than 7 million cases of coronavirus in the United States, and more than 200,000 people have died. Even after we produce a vaccine, experts say that it could be months or even years before we come back to anything approaching normal. My question for both of you is, based on what you have said and done so far and what you have said you would do starting in 2021, why should the American people trust you more than your opponent to deal with this public health crisis going forward? in this case, the question goes to you first, sir. 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Good luck. 200,000.
Good luck?
As you said, over 7 million infected in the United States. We, in fact, have 5% of,
What are you reading?
of the world's population, 20% of the deaths. 40,000 people a day are contracting COVID. In addition to that, about between 750 and 1,000 people a day are dying. When he was presented with that number, he said, it is what it is. Well, it is what it is because you are who you are. That's why it is. The
I want to throw this
president
dude
has
to the wall.
no plan. He hasn't laid out anything. He knew all the way back in February how serious this crisis was. He knew it was a deadly disease. What did he do? He's on tape as acknowledging he knew it. He said he didn't tell us or give people a warning of it because he didn't want to panic the American people. You don't panic. He panicked. In addition to that, what did he do? He went in and we were insisting that the Chinese, the people we had on the ground in China should be able to go to Wuhan and determine for themselves how dangerous this was.
Please drop.
He did not even ask Xi to do that. He told us what a great job Xi was doing. He said we owe him a debt of gratitude for being so transparent with us. And what did he do?
Guys, if you're enjoying this, please hit the like button.
Nothing. He waited and waited and waited. He
God
still
wins.
doesn't have a plan. I laid out
Sir,
back
it's
in
his 2
March
minutes.
exactly
so
what we
wrong.
should be doing. And I laid out again in July what we should be doing. We should be providing all the protective gear possible. We should be providing the money the House has passed in order to be able to go out and get people the help they need to keep their businesses open schools. It costs a lot of money. You should get out of your bunker and get out of the sand trap and get in your golf course and go in the Oval Office and bring together the Democrats and Republicans and fund what needs to be done now to save lives.
So if we would have listened to you,
You have 2 minutes, sir.
if we would have listened to you, the country would have been left wide open. Millions of people would have died, not 200,000, and one person is too much. It's China's fault. It should have never happened. They stopped it from going in, but it was China's fault. And by the way, when you talk about numbers, you don't know how many people died in China. You don't know how many people died in Russia. You don't know how many people died in India. They don't exactly give you a straight count, just so you understand. But if you look at what we've done, I closed it, and you said he's xenophobic. He's a racist, and he's xenophobic because you didn't think I should have closed our country.
No,
Wait a
sir,
minute.
It's his 2 minutes.
You didn't think we should have closed our country because you thought it was terrible. You wouldn't have closed it for another 2 months. By my doing it early, in fact, Dr. Fauci said, President Trump saved thousands of lives. Many of your Democrat governors said, President Trump did a phenomenal job. We worked with the governor. Oh, really? Go take a look. The governors
That
said
laugh!
did a phenomenal job. Most of them said that. In fact, people
You're a
that
pedophile.
would not be necessarily on my side said that. President Trump did a phenomenal job. We did. We got the gowns. We got the masks. We made the ventilators. You wouldn't have made ventilators. And now we're weeks away from a vaccine. We're doing therapeutics already. Fewer people are dying when they get sick. Far fewer people are dying. We've done a great job. The only thing I haven't done a good job, and that's because of the fake news. No matter what you say to them, they give you bad press on it. It's just fake news. They give you good press. They give me bad press because that's the way it is, unfortunately. But let me just tell you something. I don't care. I've gotten used to it. But I'll tell you, Joe, you could never have done the job that we did. You don't have it in your blood. You could have never done that job.
I know how to do the job. I know how to get the job
Well, you didn't
done.
do very well in swine flu. H1N1, you were a disaster. Your own chief of staff said you were a disaster.
14,000 people died, not 200,000. There was
A
no
very-
economic recession.
Sir, you made a
Far
no,
less
there was no
lethal
recession.
disease,
you made
by
a
the way.
point. Let him answer.
And there was we didn't shut down the economy. This is his economy he's shut down. The reason it's shut down is because, look, you folks at home, how many of you got up this morning and had an empty chair at the kitchen table because someone died of COVID? How many of you were in a situation where you lost your mom or dad and you couldn't even speak to them? You had a nurse holding a phone up so you could, in fact, say goodbye.
You would have lost far
How
more
many
people. Far more people.
And,
you would have been
and by the way,
months late.
your own,
You were
his
months behind me,
own
Joe.
CDC director says we could lose as many as another 200,000 people between now and the end of the year. And he held up. He said, if we just wear a mask, we can save half those numbers. Just a mask. And by the way, in terms of the whole notion of a vaccine, We're for a vaccine, but I don't trust him at all, nor do you. I know you don't. What we trust is a scientist.
You don't
we
trust
Dr.
Johnson
Fauci.
& Johnson, Pfizer?
And
Okay,
by the way,
gentlemen, let me move on to questions about the future, because you both have touched on two of the questions I'm going to ask.
I don't think I've ever been this mad before my entire life.
You have repeatedly either contradicted or been at odds with some of your government's own top scientists. The week before last, the head of the Centers for Disease Control, Dr. Redfield, said it would be summer before the vaccine would become generally available to the public. You said that he was confused and mistaken. Those were your two words.
Yeah.
But Dr. Slaoui, the head of your Operation Warp Speed, has said exactly the same thing. Are they both wrong?
Well, I've spoken to the companies, and we can have it a lot sooner. It's a very political thing because people like this would rather make it political than save lives.
God.
It is a very political thing. I've spoken to Pfizer. I've spoken to all of the people that you have to speak to. We have great Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, and others. They can go faster than that by a lot. Become very political because the left, or I don't know if I call them left, I don't know what I call them.
So you're suggesting that the head of your Operation Warp Speed, Dr. Slaoui...
I disagree with him. Yeah, no, I disagree with both of them. And he didn't say that. He said it could be there, but it could also be much sooner. I had him in my office 2 days ago.
He talked about the summer, sir, before it's generally available, just like
He
Dr.
said it's a
Redfield.
possibility that we'll have the answer before November 1st. It could also be
I'm talking
after
about when it's
that.
generally available. Not when
Well,
it'll
we're
be.
going to deliver it right away. We have the military all set up. Logistically, they're all set up. We have our military that delivers soldiers, and they can do 200,000 a day. They're going to be
this
delivering
is the
the
same
vaccine.
man
It's
who
all
told
set
you
up.
by Easter this would be gone away. By the warm weather, it'd be gone.
Who told you that?
Like
In that earpiece.
By the way, maybe you could inject some bleach in your arm, and that would take care of it. This is the
That
same man.
was said sarcastically, and you know that. That was said sarcastically.
And so here's the deal. This man is talking about a vaccine. Every serious
The president,
is
not a
talking about
man.
maybe having a vaccine done by the end of the year. But the distribution of that vaccine will not occur until sometime beginning or the middle of next year to get it out, if we get the vaccine. And pray God we will.
Pray God.
Mr. Vice President, I want to pick up
You'll have the vaccine
I
sooner
want to
than
pick
that.
up on this question, though. You say the public can trust the scientists, but they can't trust President Trump. In fact, you said that again tonight. Your running mate, Senator Harris, goes further, saying the public health experts, quote, will be muzzled, will be suppressed. Given the fact that polls already show that people are concerned about the vaccine and are reluctant to take it, are you and your running mate, Senator Harris, contributing to that fear?
No more than the question you just asked him. You pointed out. He puts pressure and disagrees with his own scientists.
But you're saying
Everybody
you can't,
knows.
or Senator
And
Harris is saying
no,
you can't trust the scientists.
No, you can trust the scientists. She didn't say that. You can't trust
She said the public health
Did say
experts,
that.
quote, will be muzzled, will be suppressed.
Well, that's what he's going to try to do. But there's millions of scientists, there's thousands of scientists out there, like here at this great hospital, that don't work for him. Their job doesn't depend on him. That's not, they're the people, and by the way.
I spoke to the scientists that are in charge.
By the way.
They will have the vaccine very soon.
Let him finish.
Do you believe for a moment what he's telling you in light of all the lies he's told you about the whole issue relating to COVID? He still hasn't even acknowledged that he knew this was happening, knew how dangerous it was going to be back in February, and he didn't even tell you. He's on record as saying it. He panicked or he just looked at the stock market, one of the two, because guess what? A lot of people died, and a lot more are going to die unless he gets a lot smarter, a lot quicker.
Mr. President?
Did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe. 47 years you've done nothing.
let's have this debate.
And if
We'll
you
see
would have
who's
had, let me just tell you something, Joe.
No,
if you would have had the charge of what I was put through, I had to close the greatest economy in the history of our country. And by the way, now it's being built again.
see,
and it's
We're going to
going
get
up
to the
fast.
economy in the next segment, sir.
Okay.
It's going up fast. I look
Okay.
forward to talking.
When it comes to how the virus has been handled so far, the two of you have taken very different approaches, and this is going to affect how the
How many of you are as mad as I
going
am?
forward by whichever of you
I'm
ends
fuming.
up becoming the next president. I want to quickly go through several of those. Reopenings. Vice President Biden, you have been much more reluctant than President Trump about reopening the economy and schools. Why, sir?
Because he doesn't have a plan. If I were running, I'd know what the plan is. You've got to provide these businesses the ability to have the money to be able to reopen with the PPE as well as with the sanitation they need. You have to provide
Tell that
them
to Nancy
plastic.
Pelosi.
Well, he's just shush for a minute.
Tell it to Nancy Pelosi. And Schumer,
by the
Brian
way,
Chuck.
Nancy Pelosi and Schumer, they have a plan.
Shush
They won't
him?
even meet with him. The Republicans won't meet with him in the
Okay.
Senate.
Let-
And he sits on his golf course. And, well, I mean, literally, think about it.
You probably play
think
more than
about
I
it.
do, Joe.
What about this question of reopenings and the fact?
Well, he wants to shut down this country, and I want to keep it open. And we did a great
he
thing
just
by
admitted
shutting
he
it
shut
down.
it down.
Wait a minute,
Let
Joe.
him
Let me
finish,
shut
sir.
you down for a second, Joe, just for 1 second. He wants to shut down the country. We just went through it. We had to because we didn't know anything about the disease. Now we found that elderly people with heart problems and diabetes and different problems are very, very vulnerable. We learned a lot. Young children aren't. Even younger people aren't. We've learned a lot. But he wants to shut it down. More people will be hurt by continuing. If you look at Pennsylvania, if you look at certain states that have been shut down, they have Democrat governors all. One of the reasons they're shut down is because they want to keep it shut down until after the election on November 3rd.
I want to move on to another
because
subject.
it's a
I want to move
political
on to
thing.
another
I've
subject.
got to
But
respond
those,
to that.
I
but
wanna
those
move-
states,
gentlemen, I
those
wanna move
states
on to
are
another
not
subject.
doing well that are shut down
Which is
right
gotta
now.
respond to that.
Wants
President
to shut
Trump,
down the
you
whole
have
country.
begun to increasingly question the effectiveness of masks as a disease preventer. And in fact, recently you have cited the issue of waiters touching their masks and touching plates. Are you questioning
No, I think
the
masks
efficacy
are
of
okay.
of
You have
masks?
to understand, if you look, I mean, I have a mask right here. I put a mask on, when I think I need it. Tonight, as an example, everybody's had a test, and you've had social distancing and all of the things that you have to. But I
Just
wear
like your
masks
rallies.
when needed. When needed, I wear masks.
Okay, let me ask.
I don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen. I will say this.
Vice President Biden, go ahead, sir.
Look, the way to open businesses is give them the wherewithal to be able to open. We provided money. The Congress.
But I was asking you, sir, about masks.
Well, masks make a big difference. His own head of the CDC said if we just wore masks between now, everybody wore masks and social distance between now and January, we'd probably save up to 100,000 lives. It matters.
And they've also
It
said the
matters.
opposite. They've
And
also said the opposite.
no serious person said the opposite.
They've
No
also said, well, look
serious
all right, I
at
wanna
Dr.
ask you-
Fauci. Dr. Fauci said the
He
opposite.
did not
I
say
want to
the
ask you, we
opposite.
got a
said
little
very
bit more than a
strongly,
minute left in this
masks
segment.
are not good. Then he changed his mind. He said masks are good.
I
I'm
wanna
okay
ask-
with masks.
I
I'm
want to
not
ask you
fighting
both
masks.
about one last subject because your different approaches has even affected the way that you have campaigned. President Trump, you're holding large rallies with crowds packed together, thousands of people.
Outside.
Outside, yes, sir, agreed. Vice President Biden, you are holding much smaller events with
Because nobody will show up.
people with.
Nobody shows up to his rallies.
All right. In any case, why you holding the big rallies? Why you not? You go first, sir.
Because people want to hear what I have to say. I mean,
But are you
I've
not
done a
worried
great
about it
job
spreading
as a
disease?
president, and I'll have 35,000 people show up at airports. We use airports.
Are you
and
not worried
hangars,
about
and we
the
have a
disease
lot of
issues,
people.
sir?
Well, so far we have had no problem whatsoever. It's outside. That's a big difference, according to the experts. And we do them outside. We have tremendous crowds, as you see. I mean, and literally on 24 hours' notice. And Joe does the circles and has 3 people someplace.
Did you see
That's
one of the last big rallies he had? And a reporter came up to him to ask him a question. He said, no, stand back. Put on your mask. Put on a mask. Have you been tested? I'm way far away from those other people. That's what he said. I can't. I'm going to be okay. He's not worried about you. He's not worried about the people out there breathing in one another.
We've had no negative
cheek to
effect.
jowl. No negative effect.
We've
Come
had
on.
no negative effect. And we've had 35, 40,000
All right. Do
people
you want
at
to
these rallies.
just
Yes.
quickly finish up because I want to move on to our next.
Yes, I would. He's been totally irresponsible the way in which
Shut up.
he's handled the social distancing, and people wearing masks, basically encouraged them not to.
All right.
He's a fool on this.
If you could get the crowds, you would have done the same thing. But you can't. Nobody cares.
Gentlemen, can we move on to the
Nobody cares.
Gentlemen, can we move on to the economy?
You got 8
The
people.
economy is, I think it's fair to say, recovering faster than expected from the shutdown.
Much faster.
In the second quarter, the unemployment rate fell to 8.4% last month. The Federal Reserve says the hit to growth, which is going to be there, is not going to be nearly as big as they had expected. President Trump, you say we are in a V-shaped recovery. Vice President Biden, you say it's more of a K-shape. What difference
I don't even know what that
does
means.
that mean to the American people in terms of the economy? President Trump, in this segment, you go first.
So we built the greatest economy in history. We closed it down because of the China plague. When the plague came in, we closed it down, which was very hard psychologically to do. He didn't think we should close it down, and he was wrong. And again, 2 million people would be dead now instead of still 204,000 people is too much. One person is too much. Should have never happened from China. But what happened is we closed it down, and now we're reopening, and we're doing record business. We had 10.4 million people in a 4-month period that we've put back into the workforce. That's a record the likes of which nobody's ever seen before. And he wants to close down he will shut it down again. He will destroy this country. You know, a lot of people, between drugs and alcohol and depression, when you start shutting it down, you take a look at what's happening at some of your Democrat-run states where they have these tough shutdowns. And I'm telling you, it's because they don't want to open it. One of them came out last week. You saw that. Oh, we're going to open up on November 9th. Why November 9th? Because it's after the election. They think they're hurting us by keeping them closed. They're hurting people. People know what to do. They can social distance. They can wash their hands. They can wear masks. They can do whatever they want. But they got to open these states up. When you look at...
Yeah, Joe
North
is definitely
Carolina,
listening
when
to
you look
someone
at
in his ear.
These governors are under siege. Pennsylvania, Michigan, and a couple of others. You got to open these states up. It's not fair. You're talking about almost it's like being in prison. And you look at what's going on with divorce, look at what's going on with alcoholism and drugs. It's a very, very sad thing. And he'll close down the whole country. This guy will close down the whole country and destroy our country. Our country is coming back incredibly well, setting records as it does it. We don't need somebody to come in and say, let's shut it down.
All right. Your 2 minutes, sir. We're now moved to you. As I said, posing the question, the president says it's a V-shaped recovery. You say it's a K-shaped recovery. What's the difference?
The difference is millionaires and billionaires like him in the middle of the COVID crisis have done very well. Billionaires have made another $300 billion because of his profligate tax proposal, and he
Say it right.
on the market. But you folks at home, you folks living in Scranton and Claymont and all the small towns and working class towns in America, how well are you doing? This guy paid a total of $750 in taxes.
Sir, wait, no, sir, it's
It's
his
the wrong
Yeah, I understand. You've agreed to the 2 minutes, so please let him have it.
Do I get my time back? The fact is that he has, in fact, worked on this in a way that he's going to be the first president of the United States to leave office having fewer jobs in his administration than when he became president. Fewer jobs than when he became president. First one in American history. Secondly, the people who have lost their jobs are those people who have been on the front lines, those people who have been saving our lives, those people who have been out there dying, people who've been putting themselves in the way to make sure that we could all try to make it. And the idea that he is insisting that we go forward and open when you have almost half the states in America with a significant increase in COVID deaths and COVID cases in the United States of America. And he wants to open it up more. Why does he want to open it up? Why doesn't he take care of the American? You can't fix the economy until you fix the COVID crisis.
He's trying to make a point looking into the camera.
No intention of doing anything about making it better for you all at home in
to
terms
do so.
of your health and your safety. Schools. Why aren't schools open? Because it costs a lot of money to open them safely. You know, they were going to give, his administration was going to give the teachers and school students masks. And then they decided, no, couldn't do that because it's not a national emergency. Not a national emergency. They've done nothing to help small businesses. Nothing. They're closing. 1 in 6 is now gone. He ought to get on the job and take care of the needs of the American people so we can open safely.
All right. Your time is up, sir. Well, we are going to get to...
I have to respond to that.
Well, you both had 2 minutes, sir.
Excuse me, he made a statement.
So did you.
People want their schools, people want their schools open. They don't want to be shut down. They don't want their state shut down. They want their restaurants. I look at New York. It's so sad what's happening in New York. It's almost like a ghost town, and I'm not sure it can ever recover what they've done in New York. People want their places open. They want to get back to their lives. They'll be careful, but they want their schools open. I'm the one that brought back football. By the way, I brought back Big Ten football. It was me, and I'm very happy to do it. And
all right,
people of Ohio are very proud of me. And you know how I found out? When he took
gentlemen,
a phony
we're going to
ad.
get to your economic plans going forward in a moment. But first, Mr. President, as you well know, there's a new report that in 2016, the year you were elected president, and 2017, your first year as president, that you paid $750 a year in federal income tax each of those years. I know that you pay a lot of other taxes, but I'm asking you the specific question. Is it true that you paid $750 in federal income taxes each of those 2 years?
I paid millions of dollars in taxes, millions of dollars of income tax. And let me just tell you, there was a story in one of the papers.
Show us your tax
I paid $38 million 1 year. I paid $27 million.
Show us your tax
1 year.
returns.
I went. You'll see it as soon as it's finished. You'll see it. You know, if you want to go to the Board of Elections. There's a 118-page or so report that says everything I have, every bank I have, I'm totally under-leveraged because the assets are extremely good, and we have a very, I built a great company.
I'm asking you a specific question, which is...
But let me tell you...
I understand all of that.
The amount of...
No, Mr. President.
It almost makes you want to cry.
I'm asking you a question. Will you tell us how much you paid in federal income taxes in 2016 and 2017?
Millions of dollars.
You paid millions of dollars?
Millions of dollars,
So
yes.
not 750?
Millions of dollars, and you'll get to see it. And you'll get to see it. But let me just tell you, Chris, let me just tell you something, that it was the tax laws. I don't want to pay tax. Before I came here, I was a private developer. I was a private business people. Like every other private person, unless they're stupid, they go through the laws, and that's what it is. He passed a tax bill that gave us all these privileges for depreciation and for tax credits. We build a building and we get tax credits, like the hotel on Pennsylvania Avenue. You get a massive, which, by the way, was given to me by the Obama administration, if you can believe that. Now, the man got fired right after that happened. But
Vice President Biden, you want to respond?
Yeah, I do want to respond. Look, the tax code that made him, put him in a position that he pays less tax than a school teacher makes on the money a school teacher makes, is because of him he says he's smart because he can take advantage of the tax code. And he does take advantage of the tax code. That's why I'm going to eliminate the Trump tax cuts. And I'm going to eliminate those tax cuts and make sure that we invest in the people who, in fact, need the help. People out there need help.
But why didn't you do it over the last 25 years?
Because you weren't president. Because you weren't president screwing things up.
You were a senator. And
You're
by
the
way,
worst
you were
president America has ever had.
Hey,
Come
Joe,
on.
let me just...
Bro, I can't handle this.
In 47 months, I've done more than you've done in 47 years.
Get him, baby!
Things that you never even thought of doing, including fixing the broken military that you gave me, including taking care of your vets.
Mr. President, we're talking about the economy. I'd like to ask
I can't handle this, man.
Plans going forward, because, Mr. Vice President, your economic plan, if you were to be elected president, focuses a lot on big government, big taxes, big spending. I want to focus first on the taxes. You propose more than $4 trillion over a decade in new taxes on individuals making more than $400,000 a year and on corporations. President Trump says that that kind of an increase in taxes is going to hurt the economy as it's just coming out of a recession.
Well, just take a look at what as the analysis done by Wall Street firms points out that
Wall Street John.
My economic plan would create 7 million more jobs than his in 4 years, number one. And number two, it would create an additional $1 trillion in economic growth, because it would be about buying American. That we're going to make this federal government spend $600 billion a year on everything from ships to steel to buildings and the like. And under my proposal, we're going to make sure that every penny of that
Shut up, Julia.
made by a company.
But respectfully, sir, I'm talking about taxes, not spending.
By the way, I'm going to eliminate a significant number of the tax. I'm going to make the The corporate tax, 28%. It shouldn't be 21%. You have 91 companies, in the Fortune 500, who don't pay a single penny in tax, making billions of dollars.
Why didn't you do it before when you were vice president with Obama?
Because you, in fact, passed that. That was
right.
your tax proposal.
I got it done. And you know what happened?
Yeah, you got it done.
Our economy boomed like it's never boomed
The economy is
Mr.
busted.
President,
Let me finish.
Mr. President, let me pick up on that. You would continue your free market approach, lower taxes, more deregulation, correct?
Not lower taxes for the American people.
But let me.
Excuse me.
But in Obama's, you talk about the economy booming. It turns out that in Obama's final 3 years as president, more jobs were created, 1.5 million more jobs than in the first 3 years of your presidency.
They had the slowest recovery since economic recovery since 1929. It was the slowest recovery. Also, they took over something that was down here. All you had to do is turn on the lights and you pick up a lot. But they had the slowest economic recovery since 1929. Let me tell you about the stock market. When the stock market goes up, that means jobs. It also means 401ks. If you got in, if you ever became president with your ideas, you want to terminate my taxes, I'll tell you what, you'll lose half of the companies that have poured in here will leave, and plenty of companies that are already here, they'll leave for other places. They will leave, and you will have a depression, the likes of which you've never seen.
Look,
Mr.
we
Vice
inherited the worst recession short of a depression in American history. I was asked to bring it back. We were able to have an economic recovery that created the jobs you're talking about. We handed him a booming economy. He blew it.
It wasn't
booming.
Blew it.
He blew
It wasn't
it.
booming. It was the weakest recovery
Well, sir, is it
since
fair to,
1929.
is it fair to say he blew it when, in fact, when there was record low unemployment before COVID?
Yeah, but because what he did, even before COVID, manufacturing went in the hole. Manufacturing went in the hole.
Manufacturing. What are you, a fucking retard?
They said it would take. No, you're a number two.
No.
Chris, they said it would take a miracle to bring back manufacturing. I brought back 700,000 jobs. They brought back nothing. They gave up on manufacturing. Part of my standard fare.
I'm the guy that brought back the automobile industry.
All right, let him.
We brought back, I was asked to bring back Chrysler and General Motors. We brought them back right here in the state of Ohio and Michigan. He blew it. They're gone. He blew it. And in fact, they're going.
Ohio had the best year it's ever had last year. Michigan had the best year they've ever had.
That is not
true. Many car companies came in from Germany, from Japan, went to Michigan, went to Ohio.
They're not having
and they didn't come in with you.
Mr. Vice President, go ahead.
And so you take a look at what he's actually done. He's done very little. His trade deals are the same way. He talks about these great trade deals. You know, he talks about the art of the deal. China's perfected the art of the deal.
Guys, if you're enjoying this, please go ahead and hit that like button. I would really appreciate it.
We did before.
Or likes.
Hit
the like button.
Trade deficit
China
with
ate
Mexico.
your lunch. China ate your lunch, Joe. And no wonder your son goes in and he takes out billions of dollars. Takes out billions of dollars to manage. He makes millions of dollars. And also, while we're at it, why is it, just out of curiosity, the mayor of Moscow's wife gave your son $3.5 million. What did he do to deserve it?
That's not true.
What did he do with Burisma to deserve $183,000?
None of that is true.
Let him answer.
None of that is true.
Oh, really? He didn't get $3.5 million?
Mr. President,
Mr.
President, please.
Totally discredited. Totally discredited. And by the way,
well, wait, he didn't get $3.5 million, Joe?
Mr. Vice,
he got $3.5 million.
It is not true.
Oh, really?
Mr. President, it's an open.
Get him, baby!
It's a fact.
Well, you have raised an issue. Let the Vice President answer.
Discredited.
Did Burisma pay him $183,000 a month with no experience in energy?
Mr. President,
my son did nothing wrong at Burisma.
I think he did.
Mr. President, let him answer.
He doesn't want to let me answer because he knows I have the truth. His position has been totally, thoroughly discredited.
By who? The media?
By everybody. Well, by the media, by our allies, by the World Bank, by everyone has discredited. Matter of fact, even the people who testified under oath.
So let me ask you this, Joe.
No, go ahead, Mr. I'm listening to you.
He
got $3.5 million from Moscow.
He testified under oath in his administration, said, I did my job and I did it very well.
Oh,
I
really?
did it
I'd
honorably.
like to know who they are.
Well, I'll give you the list of the people who testified.
No, go ahead, sir.
Sure, you've already fired most of them because they did a good job.
Some people don't do a good job. With you,
Go
they
ahead.
say-
You get
here's the
wait a
deal.
minute. You get the final word, Mr.
Well, it's hard to get any word in with this clown. Excuse me, this.
Hey,
this
let me just
person.
say to you,
No. Mr. President.
$3.5
Mr.
million,
President.
Joe.
That is simply
Why did
not
he
true.
deserve $3.5 million
It
from
did-
Moscow?
Look, here's the deal. We want to talk about families and ethics. I don't want to do that. I mean, his family we could talk about all night. His family's
My
already...
family
Say something about his family.
fortune by
That's
coming
right.
down and helping
Go
us
ahead.
with
Go ahead,
government.
sir.
And that's
Every-
such a...
they're right
that's
here.
a-
Mr.
That's
President.
such
Every
a great...
single one of them lost
This
a
is not
fortune
about
by
President.
my
coming and
family or
helping
his
us
family.
with
It's
government.
about your family,
They
the
didn't
American
collect
people.
$3.5 million
He
for
doesn't...
nothing.
That's not true. It doesn't want to talk about what you need. You, the American people. It's about you. That's what we're talking about
you
here.
should
All right,
Not
that's the end of the
Shouldn't have
segment.
taken the money.
We're moving on.
He didn't take them.
Well,
Vice
it's a very-
President,
but Chris,
no,
can I be honest? It's a very important
Try to be
question.
honest.
No,
That's
He
a good
stood
thing.
up.
No,
he stood up,
the answer to
and
the
he
question is
threatened
no.
Ukraine,
No, sir.
with $1 billion if you don't
That
get rid of
is
the Russians.
absolutely
You know what? Wait,
not
stop.
You're on
true.
tape doing it.
You're going to
Not
have
tape.
True.
Gentlemen.
Is-
I hate to raise
Chris,
my voice,
he's
but
on
it seems
tape.
to be, why should I be different than the two of you? So here's the
Got a
deal.
good point.
We have 6 segments. We have ended that segment. We're going to go to the next segment. In that segment, you each are going to have 2
I'm so
uninterrupted
fucking angry.
moments. In those 2 uninterrupted minutes, Mr. President, you can say anything you want. I'm going to ask a question about race, but if you want to answer about something else, go ahead. But I think that the country would be better served if we allowed both people to speak with fewer interruptions. I'm appealing to you, sir, to do that.
Well, and him too.
Well, frankly, you've been doing more
Well,
interrupting
that's
than
all
he
right,
has.
but he does plenty.
Well, less than, sir, less
there's
than.
plenty.
No, less than you have. Let's please continue on. The issue of race. Vice President Biden, you say that President Trump's response to the violence in Charlottesville 3 years ago, when he talked about very fine people on both sides, was what directly led you to launch this run for president.
Oh, yeah, sure.
President Trump, you have often said that you believe you have done more for black Americans than any president, with the possible exception of Abraham Lincoln. My question for the two of you is, why should voters trust you rather than your opponent to deal with the race issues facing this country over the next 4 years? Vice President Biden, you go first.
It's about equity and equality. It's about decency. It's about the Constitution. And we have never walked away from trying to require equity for everyone, equality for the whole of America. But we've never accomplished it. But we've never walked away from it like he has done. It is true. The reason I got in the race is when those people, close your eyes, remember what those people looked like coming out of the fields carrying torches, their veins bulging, just spewing anti-Semitic bile, and accompanied by the Ku Klux Klan. A young woman got killed. And they asked the president what he thought. He said there were very fine people on both sides. No president's ever
That is
said anything
such a lie, and that's been proven years ago.
Now,
2 minutes, sir.
second point I'd make to you is that when Floyd was killed, when Mr. Floyd was killed, there was a peaceful protest in front of the White House. What did he do? He came out of his bunker, had the military use tear gas on him so he could walk across to a church and hold up a Bible. And then what happened after that? The bishop of that very church said that it was a disgrace. The general who was with him said all he ever wants to do is divide people, not unite people at all. This is a president who has used everything as a dog whistle to try to generate racist hatred, racist division. This is a man who, in fact, you talk about helping African Americans. 1 in 1,000 African Americans has been killed because of the coronavirus. And if he doesn't do something quickly, by the end of the year, 1 in 500 will have been killed. 1 in 500 African Americans. This man is the savior of African Americans. This man cares at all. This man's done virtually nothing. Look, the fact is that you have to look at what he talks about. You have to look at what he did. And what he did has been disastrous for the African-American community.
So,
President Trump, you have 2 minutes. Why should Americans trust you over your opponent to deal with
he
racism?
did a crime bill, 1994, where you call them super predators, African Americans, the super predators, and they've never forgotten it. They've never.
You did say that.
No, sir, it's his 2 minutes.
So you did that, and they call you a super predator, and I'm letting people out of jail now that you have treated the African American population community. You have treated the black community about as bad as anybody in this country. You did the 1990, and that's why, if you look at the polls, I'm doing better than any Republican has done in a long time, because they saw what you did. You call them super predators, and you've called them worse than that, because you look back at your testimony over the years, you've called them a lot worse than that. As far as the church is concerned, and as far as the generals are concerned, we just got the support of 250 military leaders and generals, total support. Law enforcement, almost every law enforcement group in the United States. I have Florida, I have Texas, I have Ohio, I have Portland. The sheriff just came out today and he said, I support President Trump. I don't think you have any law enforcement. You can't even say the word law enforcement, because if you say those words, you're going to lose all of your radical left supporters. And why aren't you saying those words, Joe? Why don't you say the words law enforcement? Because you know what? If they called us in Portland, we would put out that fire in a half an hour, but they won't do it because they're run by radical left Democrats. If you look at Chicago, if you look at any place you want to look, Seattle, they heard we were coming in the following day, and they put up their hands, and we got back Seattle. Minneapolis, we got it back, Joe, because we believe in law and order, but you don't.
I love this man so much.
The top 10 cities and just about the top 40 cities are run by Democrats, and in many cases,
sick when you know the
radical
truth.
left. And they've got you wrapped around their finger, Joe, to a point where you don't want to say anything about law and order. And I'll tell you what, the people of this country want and demand law and order, and you're afraid to even say it.
All right. I want to return to the question of race. Vice President Biden, after the grand jury in the Breonna Taylor case decided not to charge any of the police with homicide, you said it raises the question, quote, whether justice could be equally applied in America. Do you believe that there is a separate but unequal system of justice for blacks in this country?
Yes, there is. There's systemic injustice.
Spit it out!
And in law enforcement and the way in which it's enforced. But look, the vast majority of police officers are good, decent, honorable men and women. They risk their lives every day to take care of us. But there are some bad apples. And when they occur, when they find them, they have to be sorted out. They have to be held accountable. They have to be held accountable. And what I'm going to do as President of the United States is call together an entire group of people at the White House, well, everything from the civil rights groups to the police officers.
We're coming up at the top of the hour.
We're going to work this out. We're
1
going to
hour.
work this out so we change the way in which we have more transparency in when these things happen. These cops aren't happy to see what happened to George Floyd. These cops aren't happy to see what happened to Breonna Taylor. Most don't like it. But we have to have a system where people are held accountable. And by the way, violence in response is never appropriate. Never appropriate. Peaceful protest is. Violence is never appropriate.
All right.
What is peaceful protest? When they run through the middle of a town and burn down your stores and kill people all over the place, and you say peaceful protest?
President Trump,
No, it's
I'm not
not,
asking.
but you say it is.
President Trump, I'd like to continue with the
Yes,
issue
go
of
ahead,
race. I
please.
promise we're going to get to the issue of law and order in a moment. This month, your administration directed federal agencies to end racial sensitivity training that addresses white privilege or critical race theory. Why did you decide to do that, to end racial sensitivity training? And do you believe that there is systemic racism in this country, sir?
I ended it because it's racist. I ended it because a lot of people were complaining that they were asked to do things that were absolutely insane, that it was a radical revolution that was taking place in our military, in our schools, all over the place, and you know it, and so does everybody else. And he would know.
What is radical about racial sensitivity training, sir?
If you were a certain person, you had no status in life. It was sort of a reversal. And if you look at the people, we were paying people hundreds of thousands of dollars to teach very bad ideas and, frankly, very sick ideas. And really, they were teaching people to hate our country. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to allow that to happen. We have to go back to the core values of this country. They were teaching people that our country is a horrible place, it's a racist place, and they were teaching people to hate our country. And I'm not going to allow that to happen.
Vice President Biden?
Nobody's doing that. He's
Nobody's doing that? Even that is outrageous.
Let him finish.
The fact is that there is racial insensitivity. People have to be made aware of what other people feel like, what insults them, what is demeaning to them. It's important to people know they don't want to. Many people don't want to hurt other people's feelings, but it makes a big difference. It makes a gigantic difference in the way a child is able to grow up and have a sense of self-esteem. It's a little bit like how this guy and his friends look down on so many people. They look down their nose on people like Irish Catholics like me and grew up in Scranton. They look down on people who don't have money. They look down on people who are of a different faith. They look down on people who are a different color. In fact, we're all Americans. The only way we're going to bring this country together is bring everybody together. There's nothing we cannot do if we do it together. We can take this on and we can defeat racism in America.
President,
Shut up.
President Trump, sir.
So stupid.
Biden administration, there was tremendous division. There was hatred. You look at Ferguson, you go to many places. Look at Oakland. Look what happened in Oakland. Look what happened in Baltimore. Look what happened. Frankly, it was more violent than what I'm even seeing now.
Oh, my
but
Lord.
The reason is that
ridiculous.
the Democrats that run these
Absolutely
cities
ridiculous.
don't want to talk like you about law and order.
Violent
and you
crime,
still haven't mentioned.
violent
Are you in
crime.
favor of law and order?
I'm in favor of law. You follow it.
Are you in favor of law and order? Go
yes,
ahead,
I'm
say
in
it.
favor.
You
Everybody's
asked a
in favor
question,
of
let him finish.
Law and order. Law and order.
Let him answer.
Law and order with justice, where people get treated fairly. Okay. And the fact of the matter is, violent crime went down 15% in our administration.
All right.
It's gone up on his watch.
Went down much more in ours.
All right, we're now.
He is president of the
President, you're
United
going
States
to.
of America.
Mr. President,
every record in the
Mr.
book.
President, you're going to be very happy because
And
we're now going to talk about law and order.
Places we had trouble were Democratic-run cities.
That's
and
exactly
those
my question.
Democratic-
There has been a dramatic increase in homicides in America this summer, particularly, and you often blame that on Democratic mayors and Democratic governors, but in fact, there have been equivalent spikes in Republican-led cities like Tulsa and Fort Worth. So the question is this really a party issue?
I think it's a party issue. You can bring in a couple of examples, but if you look at Chicago, what's going on in Chicago, where 53 people were shot and 8 died, shot. If you look at New York, where it's going up like nobody's ever seen anything, the numbers are going up 100, 150, 200%. Crime. It is crazy what's going on. And he doesn't want to say law and order because he can't, because he'll lose his radical left supporters. And once he does that, it's over with. But if he ever got to run this country,
He's baiting
ran
him.
it the way he would want to run it, we would have
We would
our
run it
suburbs
the
would
way-
be gone. By the way,
Suburbs.
our suburbs would be gone, and you would see problems like you've
He
never
would
seen.
know a
before.
suburb unless he took a wrong turn.
Oh, I know suburbs.
He would not.
So much
I was
better.
raised,
Go ahead. Wait a minute.
I was
So much
raised in the suburbs. This is not 1950. All these dog whistles and racism don't work anymore. Suburbs are by and large integrated. There's many people today driving their kids to soccer practice and/or to black and white and Hispanic in the same car as there have been any time in the past. What really is a threat to the suburbs and their safety is his failure to deal with COVID. They're dying in the suburbs. His failure to deal with the environment. They're being flooded. They're being burned out because his refusal to do anything. That's why the suburbs are in trouble.
I do want to talk about this issue of law and
stupidest
order,
thing
though.
I've
And
ever heard.
in the joint recommendation that came from the Biden-Bernie Sanders task force, you talked about, quote, reimagining policing. Yeah. First of all, what does reimagining policing mean, and do you support?
It means.
Let me, if I might finish the question.
It means,
What does
hold on, let me
reimagining
get,
policing mean,
the question in
and
my
do
ear.
you support the Black Lives Matter call for community control of policing?
Look, what I support is the police having the opportunity to deal with the problems they face. And I'm totally opposed to defunding the police offices. As a matter of fact, local police, the only one defunding it, his budget calls for a $400 million cut in local law enforcement assistance. They need more assistance. They need, when they show up for a 9/11 call, to have someone with them as a psychologist or psychiatrist to keep them from having to use force and be able to talk people down. We have to have community policing like we had before, where the officers get to know the people in the communities. That's when crime went down. It didn't go up, it went down. And so we have to be engaged.
That's not what
in
they're
prevent-
talking about,
That's-
Chris. That's
well,
not what
that-
they're
that's
He's talking about
exactly-
defunding the police.
That is not true.
He doesn't have any law
Would you-
support.
look,
He has no law enforcement
That's not
support.
true.
Almost
That's
nothing.
Look,
Oh, really? Who do you have? Name one group that supports you. Name one group that came out and supported you. Go
Look,
ahead.
look.
Think. We have time.
We don't have time to do
No,
anything.
think
so
about
listen,
it.
look,
Name
folks,
one law
folks,
enforcement group that came out and
I
supported
think, gentlemen,
you,
I think
Joe.
I'm going to take back the
There
moderator's
aren't. I don't
role,
think there
and
are any.
I want to get to another subject, which is the issue of protests in many cities that have turned violent. In Portland, Oregon, especially, we had more than 100 straight days of protests, which I think you would agree. You talk about peaceful protests. Many of those turned into riots. Mr. Vice President, you say that people who commit crimes should be held accountable. The question I have, though, is, as the Democratic nominee, and earlier tonight you said that you
doesn't
are
know
the
what the fuck
Democratic
is
Party right now, have you ever called the Democratic mayor of Portland or the Democratic governor of Oregon and said, hey, you got to stop this, bring in the National Guard, do whatever it takes, but you stop the days and months of violence in Portland?
I don't hold public office now. I am a former vice president. I've made it clear. I've made it clear in my public statements that the violence should be prosecuted. It should be prosecuted, and anyone who commits it
But
should
you've
be
never
prosecuted.
called for the people,
He's never
the
said
leader.
that.
Excuse me, sir. You have never called for the leaders in Portland and in Oregon to call
Because
bring in
they-
the National Guard and knock
Well,
off 100 days of riots.
They can, in fact, take care of it if he just stay out of the way. Look here.
Oh, really?
Here,
Oh, really?
here's the thing.
I sent in the
I
U.S.
asked him a
Marshals to
question.
get the killer
No,
of the young man in the middle of the street. They shot him, and for 3 days,
President Trump,
Portland
President
wouldn't do
Trump,
anything. I
please
had to send
interrupt-
in the U.S. Marshals.
President
They
Trump,
took care of business.
Go ahead, sir.
And by the way, you know, his own former spokesperson said, you know, riots and chaos and violence help his cause. That's what this is all about.
I don't know who said that.
I do.
Who?
I think Kellyanne Conway.
I don't think she said that.
She said that.
I don't-
And so here's the
All
thing.
right.
But here's the point.
Go
The
ahead,
point
sir.
is that that's what he is, keeps trying to rile everything up. He doesn't want to calm things down. Instead of going in and talking to people and saying, let's get everybody together, figure out how to deal with this. What's he do? He just pours gasoline in the fire constantly,
And-
every single solitary
Okay,
time.
and to end this, button up this segment, I'm going to give you a minute to answer, sir. You have repeatedly
Well, wait,
criticized.
I have to answer his
No,
statement.
you have
His statement.
repeatedly.
Wait,
you have
just one
no.
second.
You've been talking
He
back
made
and
a
forth.
statement.
I'm asking you.
I would
no,
love to
you know,
end it.
sir.
I would love to end it, and
you
we
know, if
would
you want to
very-
switch seats,
We would very quickly.
We could do that, but
I'd
I'm
send
no,
in
I-
the National Guard. It would be over. There'd be no problem.
Okay,
But they
good.
don't want to accept the National Guard.
You have repeatedly criticized the vice president for not specifically calling out Antifa and other left-wing
That's right.
extremist groups. But are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia
Oh my,
groups
it's a setup!
to say that they need to stand down and not add to the
Sure.
violence in a number of these cities,
Absolutely.
as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland?
Sure,
Are you
I'm willing
prepared
to do that,
specifically
but
do it?
Well,
I
go
would
ahead,
say
sir.
I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing, not from the right wing.
what are you-
If
what are you saying?
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see
Well,
peace.
then do it, sir.
Say it. Do it. Say it.
Do you want to call him? What do you want to call him? Give me a name. Give me a
White
name. Go ahead.
supremacists and
Who would
white
you like me to
supremacists.
condemn?
White
Proud Boys.
supremacists and right-wing
Proud
militia.
Boys, stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what. Somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left, because this is not a right-wing problem.
His
This
own
is a left-wing.
FBI director
This
said
is
the
a
threat
left-wing
of
Go ahead,
problem.
white
Go ahead, sir.
supremacists. Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
Oh, you gotta be
not
kidding.
militia. That's what
Oh, really?
his
It's an idea.
His
Okay.
FBI director
Gentlemen,
said.
Well,
we're
then
gonna,
you know what?
No,
He's
no, we're
wrong.
done. We're done, sir. We're moving on to the next.
Everybody
We're
gives
moving.
you
bat
advice
hits
in
you
your
over the head, that's
administration.
not an idea.
Everybody in
Antifa
your
is bad.
administration tells you the truth has a bad idea.
Can I tell you what?
You have no ideas.
Antifa is a dangerous
All right,
radical
gentlemen,
group.
we're now moving on to the Trump
And
and
you ought to be
Biden
careful with
records.
them. They'll overthrow you.
When
in
a
2
president,
seconds.
I'm going to ask a question. When the president seeks a second term, it is generally a referendum on his record. But Vice President Biden, you like to quote one of your dad's sayings, which is, don't compare me to the almighty, compare me to the alternative. And in this case, sir, you are the alternative. Looking at both of your records, I'm going to ask each of you, why should voters elect you president over your opponent? In this segment, President Trump, you go first, 2 minutes.
Because there has never been an administration or president who has done more than I've done in a period of 3.5 years. And that's despite the impeachment hoax. And you saw what happened today with Hillary Clinton, where it was a whole big con job. But despite going through all of these things, where I had to fight both flanks and behind me and above, There has never been an administration that's done what I've done. The greatest, before COVID came in, the greatest economy in history, lowest unemployment numbers. Everything was good. Everything was going. And by the way, there was unity going to happen. People were calling me for the first time in years. They were calling and they were saying, it's time maybe. And then what happened? We got hit, but now we're building it back up again. A rebuilding of the military, including Space Force and all of the other things. A fixing of the VA, which was a mess under him. 308,000 people died because they didn't have proper health care. It was a mess. And we now got a 91% approval rating at the VA, our vets. We take care of our vets. But we've rebuilt our military. The job that we've done, and I'll tell you something, some people say maybe the most important. By the end of the first term, I'll have approximately 300 federal judges and Court of Appeals judges, 300, and hopefully 3 great Supreme Court justices. That is a record, the likes of which very few people, and you know one of the reasons I'll have so many judges? Because President Obama and him left me 128 judges to fill. When you leave office, you don't leave any judges. That's like, you just don't do that. They left 128 openings, and if I were a member of his party, because they have a little different philosophy, I'd say if you left us 128 openings, you can't be a good president, you can't be a good vice president. But I want to thank you because it gives us almost, it'll probably be above that number by the end of this term. 300 judges, it's a record.
Looking at both your records, why should voters elect you president as opposed to President Trump? You have 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Under this president, we become weaker, sicker, poorer, more divided, and more violent. When I was vice president, we inherited a recession. I was asked to fix it. I did. We left him a booming economy, and he caused the recession. With regard to being weaker, the fact is that I've gone head-to-head with Putin and made it clear to him we're not going to take any of his stuff. He's Putin's puppy. He still refuses to even say anything to Putin about the bounty on the heads of American soldiers.
Your son got $3.5 million.
And by the way, my son...
Wait a minute. Mr. President, your campaign agreed to both sides would get 2-minute answers uninterrupted. Well, your side agreed to it, and why don't you observe what your campaign agreed to as a ground rule, okay, sir?
He never keeps his word. Can you add
no, I'm not asking. That was a rhetorical question.
Can you add back 30 seconds?
Yeah, yes, you may have.
All right.
Go ahead.
So, thirdly, we're poor.
About to break the computer.
Billionaires have gotten much more wealthy by a tune of over $300 to $400 billion more just since COVID. You in the home, you got less. You're in more trouble than you were before. In terms of being more violent, when we were in office, there were 15% less violence in America than there is today. He's president of the United States. It's on his watch. And with regard to more divided, the nation can't stay divided. We can't be this way. And speaking of my son, the way you talk about the military, the way you talk about them being losers and being and just being suckers. My son was in Iraq. He spent a year there. He got the Bronze Star. He got the Conspicuous Service Medal. He was not a loser. He was a patriot, and the people left behind there were heroes.
Really?
And I resent.
Are you talking
like
about
hell.
Hunter? Are you talking about Hunter?
I'm talking about my son, Beau Biden. You're talking about.
I don't know Beau. I know Hunter.
Yeah,
Hunter got thrown out of the military. He was thrown out, dishonorably discharged.
That's not true. He wasn't dishonorably.
Cocaine use. And he didn't have a job until you became vice president. And once you became vice president, he made
it is true.
In Ukraine, in China, in Moscow.
You're lying through your teeth.
Other places.
True.
He
my
made a
son,
fortune.
My son.
And he didn't have a job.
My son, like a lot of people we know at home, had a drug problem. He's overtaken it. He's fixed it. He's worked on it, and I'm proud of him.
But why was he given tens of millions?
All right, but he wasn't given tens of millions of dollars. That is totally, discredited.
We've already been
totally discredited.
We've already been through this. I think the American people would rather hear about more substantial subjects. Well, you know, as the moderator, sir, I'm going to make a judgment call here.
Gets $3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow.
Let's talk about
not
true.
Gentlemen,
that report is totally discredited.
Mitt
Romney on that committee said it wasn't worth taxpayers' money, that report. It was written for political reasons.
You know,
Oh,
I'd like to
yeah.
talk about
Mitt
climate
Romney,
change.
he's
So
trustworthy.
would I.
Okay. The forest fires in the West are raging now. They have burned millions of acres. They have displaced hundreds of thousands of people. When state officials there blame the fires on climate change, Mr. President, you said, I don't think the science knows. Over your 4 years, you have pulled the U.S. out of the Paris Climate Accord. You have rolled back a number of Obama environmental records. What do you believe about the science of climate change, and what will you do in the next 4 years to confront it?
I want crystal clean water and air. I want beautiful, clean air. We have now the lowest carbon. If you look at our numbers right now, we are doing phenomenally. But I haven't destroyed our businesses. Our businesses aren't put out of commission. If you look at the Paris Accord, it was a disaster from our standpoint. And people are actually very happy about what's going on because our businesses are doing well. As far as the fires are concerned, you need forest management in addition to everything else. The forest floors are loaded up with trees, dead trees that are years old, and they're like tinder, and leaves and everything else. You drop a cigarette in there, the whole forest burns down. You've got to have forest management.
What do you
You've got to have
believe?
cuts.
What do you believe about the science of climate change, sir?
I believe that we have to do everything we
It's
can
biased.
to have immaculate air, immaculate water, and do whatever else we can that's good. You know, we're planting 1 billion trees, the Billion Tree Project, and it's very
Do you
exciting
believe
for a lot of people.
that human pollution, greenhouse gas emissions contributes to the global warming of
I
this
think
planet?
a lot of things do, but I think to an extent, yes. I think to an extent, yes. But I also think we have to do better management of our forests.
fucking
Every year,
smash
I
Biden.
get the call, California's burning. California's burning. If that was cleaned, if you had forest management, good forest management, you wouldn't be getting those calls. You know, in Europe, they have forest cities. They're called forest cities. They maintain their forests. They manage their forests. I was with the head of a major country. It's a forest city. He said, sir, we have trees that are far more, they ignite much easier than California. There shouldn't be that problem. I spoke with the governor about it. I'm getting along very well with the governor. But I said, you know, at some point, you can't every year have hundreds of thousands of acres of land just burned to the ground.
But, sir,
That's burning down because of a lack of
But,
management.
sir, if you believe in the science of climate change, why have you rolled back the Obama Clean Power Plan, which limited carbon emissions in power plants? Why have you relaxed?
Because it was driving energy prices through the sky.
Why have you relaxed fuel economy standards that are going to create more pollution from cars
Well,
and
not
trucks?
really, because what's happening is the car is much less expensive and it's a much safer car, and you're talking about a tiny difference. And then what would happen, because of the cost of the car, you would have at least double and triple the number of cars purchased. We have the old slugs out there that are 10, 12 years old. If you did that, the car would be safer. It would be much cheaper by
But
$3,500.
in the case of California, they've simply
No, but you
ignored
would take a lot of
your
cars
rollback.
off the market because people would be able to afford a car. Now, and by the way, we're going to see how that turns out. But a lot of people agree with me, many people. The car has gotten so expensive because they have computers all over the place for an extra little bit of gasoline. And, and I'm okay with electric cars, too. I think I'm all for electric cars. I've given big incentives for electric cars. But what they've done in California is just crazy.
Right. Vice President Biden, I'd like you to respond to the president's climate change record, but I also want to ask
Guys,
you
remember, we were
about
watching a movie.
concern. You
Let's calm
proposed
down.
$2 trillion in
Projecting, I'm
green
sorry.
jobs. You
We were
talked
watching
about
a movie.
new limits, not abolishing, but new limits on fracking, ending the use of fossil fuels to generate electricity by 2035, and zero net emission of greenhouse gases by 2050. The president says a lot of these things would tank the economy and cost millions of jobs.
He's absolutely wrong, number one. Number two, if in fact, during our administration, the Recovery Act, I was in charge, able to bring down the cost of renewable energy to cheaper than or as cheap as coal and gas and oil. Nobody's going to build another coal-fired plant in America. No one's going to build another oil-fired plant in America. They're going to move to renewable energy, number one. Number two, we're going to make sure that we are able to take the federal fleet and turn it into a fleet that's run on their electric vehicles. Making sure that we can do that, we're going to put 500,000 charging stations and all of the highways that we're going to be building in the future. We're going to build an economy that, in fact, is going to provide for the ability us to take 4 million buildings and make sure that they, in fact, are weatherized in a way that, in fact, they'll emit significantly less gas and oil because the heat will not be going out. There's so many things that
You don't know anything about cars.
create thousands and thousands of jobs. We can get to net zero in terms of energy production by 2035. Not only not costing people jobs, creating millions of good paying jobs, not $15 an hour, but prevailing wage, by having a new infrastructure that, in fact, is green. And the first thing I will do, I will rejoin the Paris Accord. I will join the Paris Accord because with us out of it, look what's happening. It's all falling apart. And talk about someone who has no relationship with foreign policy. Brazil, the rainforests of Brazil are being torn down.
Who cares?
More carbon is absorbed in that rainforest than every bit of carbon that's emitted in the United States. Instead of doing something about that, I would be gathering up and making sure we had the countries of the world coming up with $20 billion and say, here's $20 billion. Stop tearing down the forest. And if you don't, then you're going to have significant economic consequences.
What about the argument that President Trump basically says that you have to balance environmental interests and economic interests, and he's drawn his line?
Well, he hadn't drawn a line. He still, for example, makes sure that he wants to make sure that methane's not a problem. You can now emit more methane without it being a problem. Methane. This is a guy who says that you don't have to have mileage standards for automobiles that exist now. This is the guy who says that, well, the fact is, it's all true. And here's the deal.
He's talking about the Green New Deal, and it's not $2 billion or $20 billion, as you said. It's $100 trillion.
I'm talking about
where they want to rip down buildings.
Go for a minute, and then you can go.
The Biden plan? We haven't heard about this.
Most ridiculous. Where airplanes are out of business, where two-car systems are out, where they want to take out the cows too. That's not true either, right? This is a $100 trillion.
Look,
that's more money than our country could make in 100 years if we're going
not the case.
All right, let me
destroy our
because
country.
I actually, wait a minute, sir. I actually have studied your plan, and it includes upgrading 4 million buildings, weatherizing 2 million homes over 4 years, building 1.5 million energy-efficient homes. So the question becomes, the president is saying, I think some people who support the president would say that.
Some people?
Like it's going to cost a lot of money and hurt the economy.
What it's going to do is going to create thousands and millions of jobs.
Thousands of
Let him
millions.
finish, sir.
He doesn't know how to do that.
$100 billion.
The fact is, it's going to create millions of good-paying jobs, and these tax incentives for people to weatherize, which he wants to get rid of. It's going to make the economy much safer. Look how much we're paying now to deal with the hurricanes. By the way, he has an answer for hurricanes. He said maybe we should drop a nuclear weapon on them. They may.
I never said that at all.
He did say.
You made it up.
And here's the deal.
You make up a
we
lot
are going to
Hillary
be in a
said
position where we can create hard, good jobs by making sure the environment is clean and we all are in better shape. We spend billions of dollars now, on floods, hurricanes, rising seas. We're in real trouble. Look what's happened just in the Midwest with these storms that come through and wipe out entire sections and counties in Iowa. They didn't happen before. They're because of global warming. We make up 15% of the world's problem. But the rest of the world, we've got to get them to come along. That's why we have to get back into the Paris Accord.
All right, gentlemen.
Wait a minute, Chris. So why didn't he do it for 47 years? You were vice president. Why didn't you get the world? China sends up real dirt into the air. Russia does. India does. They all do. We're supposed to be good. And by the way, he made a couple of statements. The Green New Deal is $100 trillion,
that is
not
not
$20
my
billion.
plan.
That's
the Green
New you want to rebuild every
is
building.
Not my plan.
You want to rebuild every.
If he knew anything about, if he knew anything
he made a
about,
statement about the military. He said I said something.
Look
about
into the camera, Joe.
He and his friends made it up, and then they went with it. I never said it.
Okay.
That is
what
not
he
true.
did is
You're
he
done
said
in this segment.
he called the military
Mr. Vice President,
stupid bastards.
I
and he
did
said
not
it on
say
tape.
You did! You fucking liar! You said it!
I would never
I
say
would
that
play
to the
it.
military.
Play it.
Go ahead, Mr.
Play
Vice
it!
President. answered his final question.
The final question is, I can't remember which of all his rantings.
I'm having a little trouble myself, but and about the economy and about this question of what it's going to cost.
The economy.
I mean, the Green New Deal and the idea of what your environmental changes will do.
The Green New Deal will pay for itself as we move forward. We're not going to build plants that, in fact, are great polluting plants.
So do you
We're going to
support
build
the Green New Deal?
Pardon me?
Do you support that?
No, I don't support the Green New Deal.
You don't? Oh, well, that's a big statement.
I
That
support
means you
the
just lost the radical left.
I
Done.
support
you
the
don't.
Biden plan that I put forward.
Okay.
The Biden plan, which is different than what he calls the radical Green New Deal.
All right, gentlemen, final segment, election integrity. As we meet tonight, millions of Americans are receiving mail-in ballots or going to vote early. How confident should we be that this will be a fair election? And what are you prepared to do over the next 5+ weeks, because it'll not only be to Election Day, but also counting some ballots, mail-in ballots after Election Day. What are you prepared to do to reassure the American people that the next president will be the legitimate winner of this election in this final segment?
Oh, my God, of
Prepared
course.
to let people vote. They should go to iwillvote.com, decide how they're going to vote, when they're going to vote, and what means by which they're going to vote. His own Homeland Security Director, and as well as the FBI Director, says there is no evidence at all that mail-in ballots are a source of being manipulated and cheating. They said that. The fact is that there are going to be millions of people because of COVID that are going to be voting by mail-in ballots, like he does, by the way. He sits behind the Resolute desk and sends his ballot to Florida, number one. Number two, we're going to make sure that those people who
Sorry, guys, I'm sorry.
want to vote in person, they open until the votes are counted. And this is all about trying to dissuade people from voting because he's trying to scare people into thinking that it's not going to be legitimate.
Projection!
Determine the outcome of this election. Vote, vote, vote. If you're able to vote early in your state, vote early. If you're able to vote in person, vote in person. Vote whatever way is the best way for you, because he cannot stop you from being able to determine the outcome of this election. And in terms of whether or not, when the votes are counted, and they're all counted, that will be accepted. If I win, that will be accepted. If I lose, that'll be accepted. But by the way, if in fact he says he's not sure what he's going to accept, well, let me tell you something. It doesn't matter, because if we get the votes, it's going to be all over. He's going to go. He can't stay in power. It won't happen. It won't happen. So vote. Just make sure you understand you have it in your control to determine what this country is going to look like the next 4 years. Is it going to change, or are you going to get 4 more years of these lies?
Mr. President, 2 minutes.
So when I listened to Joe talking about a transition, there's been no transition from when I won. I won that election. And if you look at crooked Hillary Clinton, if you look at all of the different people, there was no transition, because they came after me trying to do a coup. They came after me spying on my campaign. They started from the day I won, and even before I won, from the day I came down the escalator with our First Lady. They were a disaster. They were a disgrace to our country. And we've caught them. We've caught them all. We've got it all on tape. We've caught them all. And by the way, you gave the idea for the Logan Act against General Flynn. You better take a look at that, because we caught you in a sense. And President Obama was sitting in the office. He knew about it too. So don't tell me about a free transition.
Get him!
As far as the ballots are concerned, it's a disaster. A solicited ballot, okay, solicited is okay. You're soliciting, you're asking, they send it back, you send it back. I did that. If you have an unsolicited, they're sending millions of ballots all over the country. There's fraud. They found them in creeks. They found some with the name Trump, just happened to have the name Trump just the other day in a waste paper basket. They're being sent all over the place. They sent 2 in a Democrat area. They sent out 1,000 ballots. Everybody got 2 ballots. This is going to be a fraud like you've never seen. The other thing, it's nice on November 3rd, you're watching and you see who won the election. And I think we're going to do well, because people are really happy with the job we've done. But you know what? We won't know. We might not know for months.
Oh, my
these ballots
God.
are going to be all over. Take a look at what happened in
predicting
Manhattan.
the future.
Take a look at what happened in New Jersey. Take a look at what happened in Virginia and other places. They're not losing 2%, 1%, which, by the way, is too much. An election could be won or lost with that. They're losing 30 and 40%. It's a fraud, and it's a shame. And can you imagine where they say you have to have your ballot in by November 10th? November 10th. That means that's 7 days after the election, in theory, should have been announced.
Okay.
We have major states with that,
sir,
all run by
2
Democrats.
minutes is 2 minutes.
All run by Democrats. It's
President
fraud.
Trump,
It's a rigged election.
you're going to be able to continue. You have been charging for months that mail-in balloting is going to be a disaster. You say it's rigged, that it's going to lead to fraud. But in 2018, in the last midterm election, 31 million people voted mail-in voting. That was a quarter, more than a quarter, of all the voters that year cast their ballots by mail. Now that millions of mail-in ballots have gone out, what are you going to do about it? And are you counting on the Supreme Court, including a Justice Barrett, to settle any dispute?
Yeah, I think I'm counting on them to look at the ballots, definitely. I hope we don't need them in terms of the election itself. But for the ballots, I think so, because what's happening is incredible. I read today, where at least 1% of the ballots for 2016 were invalidated. They take them, we don't like them, we don't like them.
But what
they
are you
throw
going to
them
do
out
about it?
left
There
and
are
right.
millions of ballots going out
What
right
you
now.
do
What
is
are
you
gonna
go
do?
and vote. You do a solicited ballot,
No,
and that's
I
okay,
know
or
your
you go and
complaint.
vote.
I'm asking you about the fact that millions of people
You go and vote. You go and
No,
vote,
but
like
what I'm
they
saying is, what are
like
you
they
gonna do
used
about
to
the
in
fact
the
that
old.
millions of people?
You either do, Chris, a solicited ballot where you're sending it in, they're sending it back, and you're sending. They have mailmen with lots of it. Did you see what's going on? Take a look at West Virginia. Mailmen selling the ballots. They're being sold. They're being dumped in rivers. This is a horrible thing for our country.
There is no.
This is not.
There is no.
Project Veritas, asshole.
End well.
There is
Okay.
no
This
evidence
is
of that.
not going
Vice
to
President
end well.
Biden-
5 states
In fact,
have had
go ahead,
mail-in
Seth.
ballots for the last decade or more. 5, including 2 Republican states. And you don't have to solicit the ballot. It's sent to you. It's sent to your home. What they're saying is that it has to be a postmark by the time, by Election Day. If it doesn't get in till the 7th, 8th, 9th, it still should be counted. He's just afraid of counting the votes because he knows
You're
of the
wrong.
outcome.
You're wrong.
I want to continue with you on
I
this,
love
Vice
counting the
President
votes.
Biden.
Chris, he's so wrong when he makes
in
a
fact,
statement
no,
like that.
excuse me, Vice President Biden, the biggest problem, in fact, over the years with mail-in voting has not been fraud historically. It has been that sizable numbers, sometimes hundreds of thousands of ballots are thrown out because they have not been properly filled out, or there is some other irregularity, or they missed the deadline. So the question I have is, are you concerned that the Supreme Court, with a Justice Barrett, will settle any dispute?
I'm concerned that any court would settle this because here's the deal. When you get a ballot and you fill it out, you're supposed to have an affidavit. If you didn't know, you have someone say that this is me. You should be able to, if in fact you can verify that's you before the ballot is thrown out, that's sufficient to be able to count the ballot because someone made a mistake and not dotting the correct I. Who they voted for, testify, say who they voted for, say it's you. That is totally legitimate.
All right.
Excuse me, Chris, when you have 80 million ballots,
Gentlemen, I have a final
sending
question.
and swamping the system, you know it can't be done. You know it can't, and already
All
there's
right.
been
So now,
fraud.
Mail service
Wait
delivers
a minute, gentlemen. And the
185
final
million
question
pieces of mail a
is:
day.
in
million
8
ballots.
states, we can keep talking.
It's
in
a
8 states,
disgrace.
election workers are prohibited currently by law. 8
You
states.
just say the president's a
from even
disgrace. I'll
beginning
come
to
through the screen
process
right fucking now.
ballots, even take them out of the envelopes and
Yes.
flatten them until Election Day. That means that it's likely, because there's going to be a huge increase in mail-in balloting, that we are not going to know on election night who the winner is, that it could be days, it could be weeks.
Could be months.
Until we find out who the new president is. So first for you, sir, finally for the vice president, I don't
Foreshadowing.
will interrupt the other. Will you urge your supporters to stay calm during this extended period, not to engage in any...
You're telling us this is going to happen.
That you will not declare victory until the election has been independently certified. President Trump, you go first.
I'm urging my supporters to go
my
into
God.
the polls.
Do you understand
and
what's
watch
happening
very
right now?
carefully, because that's what has to happen. I am urging them to do it. As you know, today there was a big problem. In Philadelphia, they went in to watch. They're called poll watchers, a very safe, very nice thing. They were thrown out. They weren't allowed to watch. You know why? Because bad things happen in Philadelphia, bad things. And I am urging I am urging my people. I hope it's going to be a fair election. If it's a fair
He's urging us, guys. The 2.6 watching, urging us.
Tens of thousands of ballots being manipulated. I can't go along with that. And I'll tell you what,
does that
from
mean,
a common sense,
does that mean
I'll
you're going
tell
to
you
tell
what
your
it means.
people to take to the
It means you have a fraudulent election. You're
And what are
sending
you
out
gonna do?
80
And
million
what would you
ballots.
do about that?
They're not equipped to. These people aren't equipped to handle it. Number one. Number two, they cheat. They cheat. Hey, they found ballots in a waste paper basket 3 days ago, and they all had the name military ballots. They were military. They all had the name Trump on them.
Vice President
you think
Biden,
that's good?
Vice President Biden, final question for you. Will you urge your supporters to stay calm while the vote is counted, and will you pledge not to declare victory until the election is independently certified?
Yes, and here's the deal. They count the ballots, as you pointed out. Some of these ballots in some states can't even...
We're going to do a call-in show after this,
election
guys.
Day.
Okay?
And if there's
Stick
thousands
around.
of ballots, it's going to take time to do it. And by the way, our military, they've been voting by ballots since the end of the Civil War, in effect. And that's what's going to happen. Why is it for them somehow not fraudulent? It's the same process.
What? Because technology
No one has
advances.
established at all that there is fraud related to mail-in ballots, that somehow it's a fraudulent process.
It's already been established. Take a
but-
look at Carolyn Maloney's race.
I
and
asked you had an opportunity
look
to
at
respond.
Carolyn Maloney.
Go ahead.
They have no idea what
Vice
happened.
President Biden, go ahead.
He has no idea what he's talking about. Here's the deal. The fact is, I will accept it, and he will too. You know why? Because once the winner is declared, after all the ballots are counted, all the votes are counted, that'll be the end of it. That'll be the end of it. And if it's me, in fact, fine. If it's not me, I'll support the outcome. And I'll be a president not just for the Democrats. I'll be a president for Democrats and Republicans. And this guy,
I want to see an
fact,
honest
Okay.
ballot count.
Gentlemen, you say that's the end of
Chris,
it? This is the
I
end
wanna
of this
see an
debate?
honest ballot count.
We're
And
going to
I think
leave
he
it
does
there.
too.
To be continued as in more debates as we go on. President Trump, Vice President Biden, it's been an interesting hour and a half. I want to thank you both for participating in the first of 3 debates that you have agreed to engage in. We want to thank Case Western Reserve University and the Cleveland Clinic for hosting this event. The next debate, sponsored by the Commission on Presidential Debates, will be 1 week from tomorrow, October 7th, at the University of Utah in Salt Lake City. The 2 vice presidential nominees, Vice President Mike Pence and Senator Kamala Harris, will debate at 9 p.m. Eastern that night. We hope you watch. Until then, thank you and good night.
Go to hell.
Thank you.
Shut up. All right. Guys, if you're as upset as I am, if you want to call in, state your case. This was not what I thought it was going to be. I did not think it was going to be like this. I definitely want to talk to each and every one of you about it. The number is, let me make sure that this is correct. Do not make sure, let me see. That is the number. If you want to call in, we need to talk. We need to talk, folks. This was insanity. Let me make sure this is all gravy. All right, guys. We go to the restroom. We need to talk. We need to talk. Stay strong, all right? I'll be right back. Hold tight. Actually, I'm going to leave it on the computer so you guys can see the call-in. I need to talk to you guys. You let me know. Let me know. I'm sorry that took so long. I am not in a good mood. Let's go. Batman. *6 to call in, guys. We're gonna go to Batman first. I don't think I've ever been this mad. We got 17 callers. How about that? We're going to get to each and every one of you. I hope you stick around. If it's not about the debate, I don't want to hear about it. *6 to open up. Make it quick. We got a lot of people on the line. Batman, you're up first. Go ahead and hit *6. Go ahead, Batman. What's up? Batman. You hear me, man? Batman. Dat damn Batman. Can you hear my voice? Oh my God, what is going on? Y'all chill. Yeah, there were 17 callers. Ridiculous. Batman faded out. Let's go to Shane O'Mac. Navy vet, what's up?
What's up, baby boy?
All right, let's go. Talk to me real quick. Go.
All right, look, I want everyone to relax
Okay.
because a year ago, Hugh said this is the replacement of the old guard.
All right.
Was Biden truthful? Fuck no.
No.
But dude, look what I'm about to tell you. I've got so many people that are Democrat that are texting me right now saying, "What did we just watch?"
Okay.
He's lying through his teeth.
Sure.
There's reports. Shane, what's going on? Dude.
Well, tell me, Shane, what did we just watch, man?
We just watched. Remember,
I'm not mad for no reason, bro.
No. There's two more, bro. We just watched demons against angels.
Okay.
We did.
True.
And there's a
True.
lot of people that are saying that, bro.
Okay.
And am I worked up? Yes. Am I shadow boxing the wind? Yes.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, God wins.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's nothing that we didn't already know,
Sure.
and it's nothing that nothing can stop what is coming. What we saw today with the D-class of Ratcliffe, so many people, bro, and what's sad in our country and what we've been subjected to is that many people work.
Yeah.
They don't pay attention to mainstream media. They turn it off because they're like, oh, it's all political. But they have people or friends that are like, holy shit, check this out. And dude, it's getting around. It is getting around because I'm in an industry where I talk to people all over the United States. And today, everyone I talk to I'm like, are you guys excited for this Biden-Trump debate? And they're like, Washington, Oregon. They're like, Trump's going to wipe the carpet with him. So we just got to sit back, enjoy the show. And dude, there's no doubt with what's going to come in the next probably week is I already know Wiener's laptop is on deck. I already know that.
I think it's all on deck, man. I listen, Shane, I don't mean to be rude. I want to take, I got 25 people.
Seriously, hey, check
Yeah.
your DMs on Patreon. I sent you a DM. All
I saw it, and I'm gonna get in touch with you tomorrow. Okay.
right, brother. Look,
All right, buddy.
look, everybody, relax. We got this.
All right.
All right, I'll talk
See
to
you,
you.
man.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello.
Batman, what's up? Go for it now. Let's go.
Hey, Thomas. Sorry about that, man. Hey, look. I just want to point out one thing, man. Like he obviously had somebody in his ear, right? Like that's he did
It's
this move.
blatantly obvious somebody was in his ear.
They waited for him to mention Biden's family. And then as soon as he did, Biden mentions Trump's family. Trump goes on the defensive. And then what does Biden do? He looks straight at the camera. And you freaked out, and you had I was right there with you, man. Because he was like, it's not about our families, it's about the American families. And it's like that was clever, that was sneaky, and I mean you got to give it to him on that. But other than that, I mean he got his ass kicked. I don't know why you're in a bad mood.
I mean, I have friends, local friends, that are, are basically saying that he lost, and the mainstream media is going to say he lost.
Well, of course the mainstream media is going to say he lost, but isn't the war the fact that most of us are not paying attention to the mainstream media?
I don't know if it's the most, Batman.
I mean, I will admit, I am absolutely surprised. I am surprised at Joe Biden. I could not believe
I am too.
Stamina, and I cannot believe. I mean, he was losing his threads. He was starting to stutter, and I was like, "This is it." But the time kept going, and he just kind of maintained. But he didn't have. I mean, look, Trump bullied Chris. I mean, he was fighting a war on two fronts right there. He had Chris Wallace, who obviously was asking him loaded questions.
Yeah.
He was asking him loaded questions. He was fighting that war, and then he was fighting. He had Biden next to him, who he was playing like a fiddle. Other than a couple of situations where you just know it wasn't Biden, but Biden's not there, man. And I don't think we lost. I feel like the narrative is supposed to be that we lost this, but I mean, Trump, he got his hits in, man. I mean, he got his hit like that. Hunter, did you see the body language on Biden whenever Hunter was mentioned, and you see what happened. Trump mentions the son, and Biden already had it loaded for the other son. And I don't know anything about the son. I don't want to mention, I'm not saying anything about this guy, but just the fact that he already had it loaded, it was already a defense in their strategy. Like you can see the strategy versus the actual reactions. And Joe Biden has it, but he just can't remember how to play it out whenever it comes, whenever it gets triggered.
Real quick, Batman, I want to say something to Jane L. He didn't lose, idiot. You are fake. Whoever thinks that is a fake patriot. I'm a realist. You are biased, and I'm not flipping out on you, but to say something like that to me is ridiculous. You're on my platform, and to say that is ridiculous because, in fact, excuse me, my voice cracked. In fact,
Been a long one.
when a lot of people were to watch this who have no idea what's going on, who have no idea about Q, who have no idea about the Great Awakening, would say, in fact, that Trump lost tonight. That is a 100% fact. I understand it's one of three. I understand there's two more debates to go. I understand we're watching a movie. But other people do not see, they don't understand that at this point. So it's kind of serious at this point.
Can I interject, and then I'll get off here?
Absolutely.
All right. Look, a battle is about knowing your enemy. And here's the thing. I called in a couple of days, and I will admit, I was like, he's not even going to show up, right? We had no confidence in our enemy. You have to know your enemy to win the war. And here's, if any of us had stepped out there, we would have gotten creamed. Okay. Trump knows his enemy. He's a lot smarter than any of us. And the fact is Joe did put up the Dukes. Okay. I mean, you got to give him credit for that. It just, in my opinion, it wasn't anything worth, really talking about on his side. But that being said, Thomas, I appreciate live streaming with you. I'll let you go, and I'll let somebody else hop on here, but you have a good night.
Hey, you too, Batman. Thank you so much. I appreciate the call. One of the best out there. Let's go ahead and take, we're going to make it quick. We have a lot of callers. A lot of callers want to voice their opinions. Guys, if you're enjoying the show, please hit that like button. I would really appreciate it. Become a Patreon today. A lot of work goes into this. You have no idea. PayPal, and also you can Streamlab your super chat. Let's go ahead to Kevin real quick. Kevin, what's up, my man? How are you?
Hello. Thank you so much, Thomas, for commentating on the debate tonight. Trump is a fighter. Biden was beyond disrespectful.
Yes.
I had trouble breathing. I was good for a bit, and then I just had trouble just remembering to breathe, just so I could pay attention.
I had to go out.
It
I had to
was-
leave. I had to walk out for a minute.
Yeah, I totally respect that, and it was just like so unsettling. I've seen debates before. I don't remember a single debate in my life that I've seen. I'm 28. I haven't been around very long, and this debate was so unsettling. It wasn't just like the lies were. I've heard like all the lies before, but this from Biden and the Democrats. But yeah, Trump. I think Trump did a great job, and here's why: he stood his ground. He addressed things that came up as they came up. Yeah.
I mean, I agree. I think that, well, I'll be honest with you, man. I think to the layman, like someone who's kind of a low IQ person out there, someone who watched this today, I think President Trump might have come off as an asshole. That's not my opinion. I would not say that. But I'm saying if you're trying to, push something out to the collective consciousness, if you're trying to push that out into the demographic of who's watching this, boomers, no offense, boomers, but people who are not in this movement, who are actually watching this, would, honest to God, say, who were on the fence, would be like, President Trump's kind of an asshole tonight. Obviously, I understand this, that it's 2 against 1. It's Chris Wallace and Joe Biden against the president. I understand that, so he has to come off that way. But to someone who does not understand what's happening, that's how it comes off as. Do you agree to that, or what do you think about that point?
I'm big time right, 100% on the same page as you.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
But I understand that people in this movement, I'm not saying everybody, but there's a group of people out there that think that this is untouchable, and it may not be. I understand that we're watching some sort of movie and we're watching it play out. Tonight was not how it was supposed to go. In my honest to God opinion, just like Batman said, just like Shane said, I did not expect tonight to go this way. Mm-hmm. And when someone says something like that to our president, who I understand is doing all that he can, he is up against literal evil. And they say that he's saying, shut up, man. And why don't you keep your trap shut, man? I mean, that I got triggered, bro. I should not act that way. But listen, I came into this hyped up, and it really offends me, bro, because we know the truth, and it really upset me, man. I'm still upset.
Yeah. It's a big spiritual battle too.
It is
crazy. I really hated to see the whole gang up. It's 3 people in the room basically talking.
Yes.
Chris Wallace and Biden against Trump. Yeah, you said it right. Yeah. Hey, I don't have a whole lot more to say. I'll give you your space here.
Kevin, man, call back. We're gonna do a live show Friday. Wonderful. So make sure you tune in, okay?
All right, I will.
All right, Bubba. We'll talk soon.
All right.
Thank you. All right, we're going to take Patriot Shepherd. Patriot Shepherd hit *6 to tune in. Let's go quick so we can get through all. I know a lot of people have a lot of questions, so let's be conscientious of those behind you. Patriot Shepherd, what's up?
What's happening, man? It's good to see you.
Oh, you sound fucking beautiful, Patriot Shepherd. I can see you too. You're on the opposite screen, but you sound great. Give me your 2 cents. Let's go.
So Wallace definitely played into the mainstream talking points. I didn't expect it to go any other way. I mean, Wallace is definitely not a fan of President Trump, never has been, didn't become a fan of President Trump tonight. It was clear that he was playing towards, Biden's favor. That's not anything that I didn't expect. That being said, I was very disappointed with the disrespect that Wallace and Biden both showed to President Trump. And, periodically you would hear Wallace laugh at President Trump. Absolutely pissed me off. It pisses me off when people
my God. Yeah, that triggered me as well.
Dude, it pisses me off when people don't actually call him President Trump, when they just say Trump, even in news articles or referring to him as a news anchor on a live stream or otherwise. It absolutely infuriates me. You know what I mean? I'm not a fan of President Obama, never have been, but I would still call him President Obama. You know what I mean? Just because that's the respect for the office of the President of the United States. Absolutely infuriating. Yeah. So Wallace and Biden both wanted. They wouldn't state the difference between universal mail-in ballots and absentee ballots. You know, they don't want to talk about that. But regardless of universal mail-in ballots, which are completely unlawful, and, you know, absentee ballots, I mean, we've already seen that absentee ballots are thrown in the trash, and the majority of Americans don't actually know that that's happening. I wanted to see we all want to see President Trump let loose. You know, we all want to see him call out the deep state live on national TV. And I think that that's actually what makes us, it leaves us wanting for more, is we want to hear him talk about what we know he understands and what he knows is going on behind the scenes. And I think that that's what makes us feel, you know, like we're lacking something, or he's not doing what we think he should. Because unfortunately, those of us in the truth movement were more aware of what's going on in the world than 75% of other Americans. So I feel like in these debates, we're going to just be a little bit left down, because I still don't think that he can come out and openly talk about the things that we want him to talk about. So, you know, all in all, we all want to see President Trump be the tiger that he is. And in some ways, it seemed like he was just reacting to situations rather than guiding the conversations. But when you're combating two people in a debate rather than just one, you know, it's definitely going to come across lopsided. I was, however, somewhat surprised with how Biden handled himself. And, you know, regardless, all of us were. Yeah. I mean, did you notice that Biden actually said global warming rather than climate change when he was when they were talking about climate change and so on? He actually referred to it as global warming. So I guess we're going backwards, you know. Anyway, one other thing that I wanted to say was that, you know, this debate really isn't going to change anyone's mindset. You know, if you were a President Trump supporter before this debate, you're still a President Trump supporter. If you were a Biden supporter before this debate, you're still a Biden supporter. I don't think that these debates are actually going to come out and change anybody's state of mind or mindset or who they're supporting. You know, but I would like to see President Trump come out and be a little bit more of a lion than what he was today. Not that he is feeble, and I don't mean any of that in a disrespectful way. It's just those of us that know the truth, we want to see him talk about the deep state openly on these types of platforms. And I feel like if he doesn't do that, we're always going to feel like he's not doing what we think he should in that aspect.
I will leave you with this, with a really quick point, if you want to come back at me very quickly. They said this was foreshadowing that, hey, there could be weeks after the election. President Trump specifically said months after the election, before this is all settled, the dust settles, and we actually have a nominee. That concerns me, but I do know that is part of the plan. We knew this was not another 4-year election. Could this be another 4.5-year election? We do not know. First off, the first 4 months were taken from this president. The first 4 years were taken from this president. That I think he should get that back. Your thoughts on that very quickly. What do you think about that this is going to last much more into 2021?
Yeah, I saw a comment in chat that I just want to respond to. I'm not saying President Trump isn't a lion, but what I am stating is that he was having to fight an uphill battle between two foes, and he wasn't able to control the situation because you had Wallace laughing and Biden snickering over off to the side and just saying things under his breath. And it seemed like the camera would always switch over to Biden when it was President Trump's turn to talk. They'd always switch over to Biden and be like, "Oh, look at what Biden is saying. He's saying something under his breath," which was absolute bullshit. And it just didn't allow President Trump to control the situation because uphill battle between 2 points. I understand what you're saying about the mail or the ballots and it not being decided until, you know, weeks, if not months after the election. You know, they have been doing this in the mainstream media lately, and they have been projecting, stating that the election isn't going to be valid. It's going to be false. You know, this is going to continue on, and they want to drag that out so that they look like everything is in utter mayhem. So I'm not necessarily surprised in that. They're still projecting that they expect that to happen. So anyway, Thomas, you're the man. I sent you an email. Check your email, dude. I'd love to talk with you, but I appreciate you having me on, man. Take care.
Hey, Patriot Shepherd, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate it. Quick and calm and collect. I really appreciate that. We're going to keep moving forward. Remember, guys, be conscientious of the ones behind you. Make sure you hit that like button. Really good calls tonight. Let's keep it going, okay? Let's keep it going. We're going to move forward into Sonic. Sonic on the live chat. Please go ahead and hit *6. I would greatly appreciate it if I could talk to you. Sonic MD. We got to make this fast, and please be conscientious of the ones behind you. I'm still allowing people into the chat. If we get to you, we get to you. Sonic MD, if you do not answer very shortly, I'm going to have to let you go and move forward. Sonic MD, if you hear my voice, please go ahead and hit *6. That way I can talk to you. I'm going to give you a couple more seconds, guys. Again, please hit that like button if you are appreciating what's going on tonight. This is not easy. Sonic MD, go ahead with your comment, please. Sonic MD, go ahead with you. You muted yourself again. I got to let you go. All right. We're going to move forward. 1786. 1786, welcome to the show. Please understand that you have people behind you, so let's go ahead and be conscientious about them. 1786, welcome to the show. 1786, are you there? I'm gonna hang up on you if you can't go. We're gonna move to the next person. All right, I'm gonna let you go. 8415, welcome to the show. 8415, welcome to the show. Again, understand people are behind you, so let's move quickly through it. 8415, if you were listening, go ahead, my man, go.
Hey, is this Thomas?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Who's this?
Hey, this is Corey in Maine.
Hi, Corey. What's your comment, question, or concern?
I just wanted to shoot you a thought. I mean, if you think about how things went with Biden going all the way running up to this debate, you don't think that maybe his doctor kind of backed him off his medication, which is why we got all the funny videos, and then when it came right down to the debate, they put him right on a high dose of his cognitive medication.
Sure. That's why
it.
President Trump said, hey, let's do a drug test, and the Biden team said no dice.
Right? I mean, he was only barely there. I mean, without being fed through his ear, the guy's about worthless.
Sure. And you're right. I mean, I did get triggered tonight. People are saying you got triggered, Tom. When someone calls, I don't know who said it, but when somebody calls my president a clown, and I know what they've done, I know what his son's done, I know how corrupt this family is, I know what they've done to the American people. They sold out our country. I get pissed off. And I got triggered tonight, bro.
Oh, I don't blame you, man. I'm right there with you because I know all the, when you know the truth,
yes.
And the crap that rolls out of their mouth, you just want to reach through the screen and choke them yourself.
I almost had to leave. I almost had to walk off. Yeah.
Oh, believe me. All the crap, all the real truth of all the crap that really has gone on in the world. I mean, it's really, I just would like to see things go the right way.
And they will go the right way. I mean, I just know that we are, tonight was not what I expected, man. And,
I kind of suspected because I thought they were going to dose him before. And sure enough, they dosed him enough so he could just be there. And that was about it.
Right. While you're on the phone, before I let you go, I may ask for a comment or not. New post. This just dropped from 17. And it says, who is in charge of the Trump Swift boat project? Needs to be ready, funded and unleashed when we decide, but not half-assessed scramble. Who is this coming from? Palomari to Hillary Clinton. Trump Swift boat project. Clinton operatives. Q. I do not know what this means, guys. But there are multiple posts tonight that I have not seen. God woke us up for a reason. This is. We'll see. We'll get into that a little later. I know we have a ton of calls. We're still getting multiple calls coming in, and I really appreciate everybody. Listen, man, thank you for calling in. Good points. And we're going to move on.
Thanks for taking my call.
Hey, you're welcome, pal. We'll talk
Stay
soon.
strong, Thomas.
Thank you, pal. We will. You stay strong as well.
We'll keep watching you.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to go down to here, and we're going to move quick, guys. 8779. 8779. Welcome to the show. 8779. I know there's a bit of a delay. We will get there.
Yep, a little bit.
Yeah, let's go ahead, man. What's up, 87?
So you got a good copy on me?
Yeah, 10-4. Let's go.
So the number one thing, man, I thought it was in the agreement that there wasn't supposed to be any electronics and stuff like that. Well, clearly when you're watching the debate, which was fantastic, by the way, he's looking down. Every time Trump's talking, somebody's giving him a response. And I'm even watching this dude's lips ramble as he's reading the information coming through. I'm not stupid. I can see it. It's right in front of my face. You know,
I agree.
Well,
I agree. I definitely
it.
agree with you that every time something was taking place, where right before he got asked a question, it was definitely taking place. Real quick, he definitely was reading. Deflustrated. I'm sorry I didn't see this. This is from 2 hours ago. Thank you for the $5.55 donation. I love you all. Deflustrated says, thank you so much for the multiple donations every time we go live. Thank you. 8779. Yeah, I agree with you, man. I think 100% he was reading from somebody. He was basically trying to speak to himself. He's been coached. We're not stupid. He's being coached, and someone's speaking into his ear.
Absolutely. He's definitely being coached, but I really enjoyed watching him kind of, just deteriorate over time. He's just falling apart.
Yeah. I did notice he was not the same Biden from the beginning of the show. It was an hour and a half long. I would say 30 to 40 minutes into it, he completely shifted gears.
Right. And the fact that they picked Chris Wallace out of anybody else to run this, moderate the debate and all that stuff, it's just laughable in itself. But, it's clearly biased toward in favor of the Democrats. So,
Yeah,
well, that's
absolutely.
all I got.
That's Mockingbird Media for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Project Mockingbird all the way. So this IIA technology and everything's really starting to backfire on them with social media, the internet, and everything's really starting to kind of spin out of control for them. But I think it's going to get a whole lot more interesting in the next few days. Like you did say earlier, we are watching a movie, and it's so we got to keep our heads, not spaz out, and kind of use logical thinking and take our time in these upcoming days.
I agree with you, man.
So
I appreciate the call, dude. Good points, and appreciate you keeping us level, man. Thank you.
Okay, bud. See ya.
Take care, my friend. All right, let's move forward. We got a bunch more people. Let's go with 8983. 8983. Welcome to the show. There's a little bit of a lag. I understand that. So 89. My computer. Waiting on 8983. Yeah, I do not like Chris Wallace. I thought he asked maybe out of the entirety of the debate, maybe 3 questions that were in favor of somewhat of the president. 8983. I'm going to give you one more second or two to pick up the phone. I know there's a delay. 3.4 thousand likes. I really do appreciate that, guys. You guys are killing it.
Thomas.
Hey, what's up, man? How are you? Go ahead. Let's go.
I'm real well. What a dog and pony show. Really disappointed in Wallace and his hot button questions.
Yeah.
Also a little, I don't blame the president for getting so frustrated because Biden's standing there lying through his teeth.
Oh my God, it's so apparent.
It was just, it was kind of disappointing. Not unconvinced it's not a clone. That's why it was reading something off of the frickin' thing on its podium. but I don't know. It's these people are just plain evil, and they can't tell the truth to save their life.
They can't. I'm gonna go with a comment from JG. Wallace's tone was very angry and provoking.
Yes, it was, and you know, I would really like. I don't know if he's scheduled to moderate the next debates that are coming, but I would really like to see Tucker Carlson take that position.
Oh my God! Yes.
You know,
Can't we split it up? Can't we split it up? We go with Wallace, who's on the left. We go with Tucker, who's on the right. Then we go back to the left. I think that's fair. Give it.
I mean, well, even though Tucker's more leaning on our side, he's much more objective.
Sure, the best that's out there, man.
And the other, you know, I don't blame the president. You know, I'm glad he brought that stuff up about Hunter, and it's just despicable after we've just had a documented investigation been put out in the public that, you know, proves all these things that we've all known for quite some time as anons. But
I'm going to ask you something real quick. You're on the hot seat right now. I'll ask you. This is a very good question from one of my friends. I'm going to give it to you. Do you think Trump was calculated or out of control?
I think he was somewhat calculated. I don't think he was really out of control. I think he was somewhat aggravated though, and I don't blame him. You know, I mean, it's just so, this whole thing, you know, and they talk about there's no voter fraud, and you've got this Project Veritas thing that just came out about Omar and how they're spending millions of dollars in strong arming these poor Somalis to get their ballots at $200 and $300 a whack. It's just crazy. It's, you know, and I believe it's been said that they've got 100,000 DHS workers on this voting, on all these precincts. They've got people inside watching these people.
Yeah.
So the one thing that disturbs me is this narrative that they keep pushing it. Oh, it's got to be way down the road, you know. And there's actually, you know, there's constitutional dead dates on these things. They don't get to spread them out like that. And the one other thing that really bothers me is they keep talking about this 200,000 COVID deaths when the CDC just came out and said 96% of them were not COVID deaths. And they keep spinning this narrative about that. And the mask thing as well, which the masks are proven to be worthless. You know, it's all.
It is. I mean, we can see right there. We have a 40,000 foot view. You know, and it's so apparent. That's why I was getting so mad. But 8983, I really appreciate your call, man. Good points.
Hey,
I'm going to keep moving forward.
You, Thomas.
Thank you, my friend. Tune back in. All right.
Always here. Bye.
Thank you, friend.
You bet.
Bye-bye. Great points. We have a lot of calls. 4812. Welcome to the show. Are you there?
Tom, you're the man.
Thank you. Who is this?
Tom.
Yes.
C75, buddy. I love the gun show.
Thank you, my friend. Your boy's been doing good.
Fucking energy, buddy.
Yeah. I was pretty hyped, man, and I did not see.
I'm watching the.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I was going to say, I'm watching the debate again tonight as soon as this is over, and I'm watching the hype up because I loved it. It was beautiful, the referee outfit, the thumbnail, and you know my favorite part is the face on the thumbnail that you're giving of, I mean, that I love watching the referees in WWF because they are actors also.
Correct.
You know?
Yes.
So, anyway,
what was your takeaway from tonight?
Debate.
Give me a quick takeaway.
Tell you, I was actually writing down every jab and every moment when somebody hit the other guy. Okay,
sure, love it.
I came up with right around 50, right around 60 for Trump. Biden has 15, and your friends are looking at the emotional responses. And yeah, of course, Trump is going to be. He's Mike Tyson. It's hard to make Mike Tyson not angry.
Right.
He's got to be angry. You're fighting a fucking monster who's actually exposing a pedophile demon. in front of us.
Correct.
On national TV. So we actually have, if you think about how good this is, Tom, this is the fucking bomb show. We actually get to go out into our communities and we get to say the favorite part of our debates. So when we walk into our community, we're not going to talk about emotional moments. We're going to quote Biden to Biden. We're going to quote, well, son of a bitch, they fired the prosecutor because Biden said it on video. Right?
Correct. And he also called. I got hype, man. When he also called our soldiers dumb bastards, stupid bastards.
Dumb bastards. Trump did not mention Omar's name on purpose. He's got that in his back pocket because he knows Veritas is coming up in the next debate, and he just knows that he wants to be right and slowly let that be our own weapon that we get to have the yellow sword. So just think about this in a little bit, that this is the Karate Kid as his leg is broken. He is just hopping right now. Yeah. The second debate, he'll put his arms up, and the third debate will be the jump kick ending. You cannot expect this to be the climax moment. I forget my English story literature dynamic thing, but in the classic Warrior's Tale, or you know what I'm talking about, the thing that Star Wars and every movie ever is told on, there's always the epic journey.
Yes.
We're in the epic journey right now. And
I agree.
So that's the emotional part. I just want to jump into my favorite parts of the thing. So we already went over Biden.
Quickly.
That's okay. So that one was absolutely my favorite. My second favorite was probably, oh God, I just lost it in my brain. Sorry, Thomas. Can I ask you what your favorite part of the debate was?
Oh, I mean, I think my favorite part was when the president just kept calling out. He said Hunter, then he said the $3.5 million from the Moscow. He kept reiterating on that over and over and over. And then he said, "Hey, you're going against the police officers' law and order. You won't say it. Hey, he lost the left on that. He lost the Green New Deal. He lost AOC +3 on that. Talking about, there were multiple things that he was completely collapsing on."
Oh God, he had nothing. And if people who are just watching politics want a gentle politician, that's great. That's what they're going to get with Biden. But in the next 2 to 3 months, we're going to see this huge ramp up of war with China, because China made that a bioweapon, we have treaties around the world with Taiwan and everywhere else that we are now legally at war with China. If you're watching what's going on in the Indian-China border with all the shots fired, 100,000 troops moved up to the border. We just had a Chinese plane, a J-35, shot down over Taiwan with our electromagnetic weapons. We are in a massive international moment right now. Yes. And to look at our debates and think that, oh my gosh, Trump didn't kill him in the debate. Gosh darn it.
I like this post real quick. I got to let you go. Ray J said Biden would not come back if Trump took him down tonight.
That's right. I was about to fucking say that.
Yeah.
I was about to say that Trump had to let Biden give him a broken leg. He had to give Biden a win, but he didn't mention Omar's name. He had so much good stuff, but he allowed this to be the way it is. You're looking at an actor who's played The Apprentice. He's played the game Apprentice for years. He's okay. He's going to go to sleep. Trump is going to go to sleep with a big smile on his face, and so should all of us. But I'm not going to be able to go to sleep because I saw the fucking gun show from you, and now I got to see it again. I'm so fucking happy.
Listen, man, I can promise you, next time we do it, it's just going to be the exact same hypeness. Again, we get 2 more episodes of this. I'm so stoked. So, listen, I appreciate the call. I really do.
Thank you for walking away. Thank you for being so honest, and thanks for doing the call in like I wanted it, and you're the man. Blue armor for everyone. I love you guys. Cheers.
Take care, my friend. Thank you. Being short and sweet, I really appreciate it. We're going to take a few more calls. So make sure you're on your toes. 6098. Dat Batman, thank you so much for donating the 17 bones. Game Theory, book on Amazon, $15. It has pictures. That is the game the president is playing if you want to get Smart Curse lit. The Game Theory book on Amazon. Caller, what's up? Who's this?
How you doing, Thomas?
Hey, who's this?
This is Abraham.
Abraham, go ahead quickly, my friend.
From California, Hemet, California.
Good to have you, friend. I'm sorry you're in a blue state, but I'm glad you're on the right side. What's up?
If anything, I think California is not too different from Florida. Most people think through the television screen that it's mostly liberals that live here, but I think otherwise. Just because I live in it and I see it for myself. If anything, I think most of the liberals, they live in like the larger cities, which are like LA, San Diego. But outside of that, like it's mostly like small cities, and most of them are, I think, leaning towards like the red. But anyway, I wanted to touch topic on like a couple things. Like I was watching it live through the Fox channel on YouTube, and then it suddenly cut the feed when they were touching topic on how many police organizations supported Biden. To which Biden he wasn't able to come up with a single.
No, right, yeah. He said, "Tell me how many," and there weren't any.
Yeah, and as soon as they jumped into that, they cut the feed, and I had you simultaneously playing on my phone on a tripod. So thankfully I was able to, like, yours was delayed by like 10 seconds. So I didn't really miss anything, but I just thought it was really funny.
So they cut that part out?
They did. Yeah. Fox did.
This is another thing. You bring up a very interesting subject. I do not trust mainstream media. That's all of the CNN. That's ABC, NBC, the MSDNC. I don't fucking trust. I don't trust Fox either. I never will. I love, Tucker Carlson. I like Sean Hannity. There's a couple more on there, but other than that, 6 companies run a conglomerate of the mainstream media of all entertainment flowing in through your cable television, and this is fact. Look it up. They are the enemy of the people. They control the narrative, and they get and to be honest, Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity get a paycheck from these people.
Yeah, they do. But I feel like, it's awfully strange, to be honest, when you see people like Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity with his CIA pin and all, and you're like, how are these men still employed by Fox, even though they're for Trump? It's like, it's really strange. Like, they're walking in the same building that other people who are anti. It's so strange. It's really strange. Like,
I agree.
I don't know how that works.
I agree, man. Listen.
Honestly, I'd like to, before I leave, I'd like to jump into like the possibilities, because you see, we have the whole October 10th thing. We have one more debate before that.
Yeah.
So, people speculate that, there's something about Joe that's going to come out, maybe with Ukraine, and he might be replaced with Kamala, or someone else might jump in at the last minute. But I don't really know. I mean, honestly. And
we'll see, man. I think a lot of things are going to change. I think this threw us all over. I just think this threw us with a left hook out of nowhere, man.
I'm honestly surprised with how well Joe Biden handled himself.
Well, he's on performing enhancing
really
drugs.
Surprised.
I don't know
or not even that. He could just be demonically possessed.
Bro,
I know.
Yeah. Very true. I agree with you. I don't know what to think. We'll see how day 2, day 3 goes, and we'll just sit back and wait, man. I can tell you it's just going to be as hyped. I can promise you that.
Yeah, I think the most exciting part for me will be when the president announces the impending storm over the emergency broadcast.
Yes.
I feel like that's going to be the big moment right there. Cause most people, they're going to enter fight or flight mode.
I agree,
they're just going to be acting on their natural impulses or whatever, but it's going to be great. And then, the whole thing with Project Bluebeam, which has yet to really, really happen. I mean, the whole introduction of extraterrestrials and then the Space Force, that's a really exciting thing,
I agree, man. I think a lot more stuff is going to happen. Real quick, my man. Listen, I appreciate you calling in, man. Great call. Make sure you stick around for the next one and always stop by. Okay, I appreciate
I
it.
will, man. Thank you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Let's go, Crisp. What's up?
All right. This is great, man. I just want
Can
to
you tune up? I need you up in volume. Up in volume.
up in volume. Uh-oh.
Yeah, very low.
Uh-oh. How about this? Is this better?
A little higher, maybe a bit if you can.
Sorry, man. I got a whack computer set up right now. I just had
All
to
right,
put
you're
together
fine right
something.
there. Go ahead quickly.
Hey, I just want to say thanks, dude. I got something for you. If we can just connect through email, I want to send you something as a thank you. I have an apparel line. I just want to give you something because you and all these other citizen journalists, you digital soldiers out there, you guys are killing it. You guys help regular guys like me just get stuff done. And I had to pivot some of my business to make something for Trump and his campaign. And I just want to give that to you, man. But I want to say this one thing. I've been marketing and psychology for over 20 years. And I do a lot of stuff with investing and all kinds of stuff. And the way I'm looking at this, there's one thing I think we all just kind of missed. There was no crowd participation. You know, when Trump used to drop these bombs on Hillary, you could hear the crowd go like, ooh.
Yes.
You could hear them.
Yes.
It wasn't there. It wasn't there.
No.
I'm telling you, digital soldiers like you and me, we're sitting in our house, we're listening to it, and we're like, what the heck, man? Like, what's going on here? But you know, there are people in bars that are freaking out.
Yes.
You know the silent majority's out there going like, oh, shit, look, you hear just Trump.
Exactly, bro.
Oh, man, you hear Biden? I can't believe he disrespected him like that. You know that's what's going on in bars across America. So
yeah,
it's different. For a breed like us, the digital soldiers, the few, we're at home and we don't have that energy. And without the crowd, with the burn that you can hear in the live participation,
yeah,
that's it, man. That's just that's the psychology game. That's the psyop that they were pulling on us here.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to throw that out there for all the other ones that were feeling a little like, heated, because I feel you, Tom. Like I felt kind of the same way. My wife was like looking at me and she's like, man, is this like for real happening? I'm like, no one is hemming and hawing in the audience with the way that these two clowns are acting toward the president. And she's like, you're right. She's like, you're right. And, I will say this, she's kind of a gauge for like an average view. She doesn't go down the rabbit holes like we do. That's why I like your show. You really helped me out. I feel very entertained by your the conspiracy stuff. It was cool. You brought it up the other day. You're like, I'm going to go down the conspiracy with the Mercury thing. And that
yeah, man. Yeah, I want to do that on Saturdays.
Dude, I appreciate that so much. You have no idea how much of a change it is because there's a lot of Q guys out there, 17, Patriot insiders, out there that are spreading the truth from the source, okay? And it's great that you kind of go down the rabbit hole, man. That's what I have to say. I really like that flavor that you bring to it. It's helpful. So I just want to say thank you, man, one more time.
Thank you, Chris.
Look out for an email from me, please. I'm gonna send.
Yeah. Do you know my email?
Yeah, I'm gonna send to your TRUreporting 1985 at Gmail, right?
Yep, that's me.
I'm gonna send it to you. Look for me. It's gonna be you'll see Crisp. You'll see Crisp. I'm not gonna throw my email out there, but
that's cool. Thank you, Crisp.
A care package, man. I love you.
You're beautiful, man. Yeah, you could send it to the P.O box if you want to.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna send you the email. Where can I find the P.O box at, man?
That's in the description of every video. So go to the latest video I dropped, and it's in the very bottom. And you can see it in the chat. I'm sure one of the mods will drop it.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you taking my call, dude. Much love.
Thanks, Chris.
Where we go on, we go
all day, baby. All right, the Batman just dropped another 17 bones. Thank you, man. Sorry, Thomas. The smart comment was meant for your audience. You are smart. That's why I watch you. I could do this all day, though, because you made my night. The castle is safe, my man. We have 2 more debates, and these are just shows anyways. Peace. Hey, the Batman, thank you so much, man, for the 17 bones back to back to back. I really appreciate it. Guys, that is it for me. I'm very tired. We've gone 3 hours and 40 minutes into the show. I hope you enjoyed it. We will definitely pick back up. Might do a live stream tomorrow, but in all actuality, we will definitely have another podcast. I really hope you enjoyed yourselves. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Just understand that this is one of 3, and we will make our way to the golden age together, my friends. Again, if you enjoyed this, please go ahead and subscribe. Please go ahead and hit that notification bell. You can become a Patreon today by going into the description box below. In every one of these videos, there's Patreon, there's PayPal, there's all sorts of stuff. Thanks to everyone who subscribed, everyone who called in, everyone who left a donation. Thank you to the mods. I know this was a long show. Thanks to everyone who left a like, everyone who shared this. And God bless each and every one of you. God bless our president. I know that this was very tough for all of us to watch. And, it's all a movie, baby. And we're going to get to it in the end. So again, my friends, enjoy your evening. God bless each and every one of you, and expect a live, expect a podcast tomorrow. I'm very tired. So with that being said, my friends, I hope you enjoyed the hype. I hope you enjoyed the atmosphere. This is the coziest corner of the internet, and I really appreciate each and every one of you. You have no idea. Always remember, it is an honor for me to be on the front lines with each and every one of you day in and day out. Because in the end, where we go one, we go all. God bless you all, and have a beautiful night.
Guys, if you found what you just watched informative and you enjoyed it, then please subscribe to the True Reporting family today. There are many ways to support this channel, like our Patreon link, our PayPal link, and our TrueReporting.us official website link in the description box below. Join the True Reporting family today and be a part of history, because where we go one, we go all.